afternoon and welcome to TSTV Gameday here at Lehman High School in Kyle, Texas, where the Texas Longhorns host the Game 3 Sunday finale against the Fighting Texas Aggies of Texas A&M. Game 1, it would be a 7-2 victory for the Texas Longhorns, who are 6-5 in the conference, 12-10 overall. But then in the second bit of the doubleheader, it would be the A&M Aggies defeating the Longhorns in extra innings, 11-10. So here we are in Game 3, a senior day for the Texas Longhorns, with Orlando DeLeo on the mound, who leads the team in strikeouts. We do thank you for joining us here. My name is Joseph Duffey. I'm going alongside Henry Hipschman, also Tyler Strempel. How you doing, gentlemen?
It is a beautiful Sunday for some baseball, Joe. It's exciting to be out here with you two gentlemen in the booth, and I'm excited to see who takes this series at the end of today's game. How are you doing, Tyler?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here. It's a beautiful morning. I think it's going to be a very competitive game. Great series so far. Really excited to see who can come in clutch and pull out that series win today.
I mean, let's just look at these conference standings for a second. Texas A&M stands at the top with a 9-2 record. Texas in third with a 6-5 record, and again, splitting the doubleheader yesterday. That's a big win, even this late in the season. And hey, it's senior day. What would it mean to these guys to take the win today?
And you're going to see a lot of players playing also with substitutions, but it is a senior day. These guys want to go out with a bang at the end of the season. And it's a big game going against a bitter rival. Of course, the reinstitution of historic rivalry, of course, in D1 baseball, but it just means just as much for these players in club baseball here in Kyle, Texas. As we're about to get started here with Orlando DeLeo on the mound. He's going to go against Colby Dye leading off, and then Zane Council following him, and Tyler Dickerson. Cleaning up is Christian Latouche. Pete Durasic hitting fifth, Ethan Burrington after him, and then Rob Roth hitting seventh. Number 8 in the lineup, Andres Ramos, and then wrapping it up is Trey Barton.
And just look at this field out here, Joe. Look at that outfield. I think we're going to get a lot of long hits out here and maybe a high-scoring game.
Leo's first pitch in there, inside corner, strike one.
It's a beautiful location from DeLeo, trying to catch that inside.
Short bunt was dive, but pulls back and keeps the count at one.
Perhaps a bit too early to be showing bunt in this game with the leadoff hitter, but if he can get that going down that third baseline, who knows?
Leo's 1-1 pitch. This is just a little bit low and outside for ball two. Out the stretch is DeLeo, 2-1. This is again low and outside. Oh, actually catches strike two. A bit of a later call.
You know, may have been a little bit generous with that strike zone, but perhaps he knows it's senior day as well. Trying to get a little help.
2 balls, 2 strikes for DeLeo. Popping that towards the right field line. On the move is Mordova. That one drops in for a fair ball. That's going to be a leadoff base hit for the Aggies.
I mean, there's not a lot you can do in that situation. You had 3 Longhorns in the area, but that ball was just located perfectly. And I don't know if you saw where it dropped, but that was just an inch left of the foul line. So a lucky break for Dye right there.
Yeah, just putting the bat to the ball sometimes is what you have to do.
Yeah, what a professional hitter right there. You got to know the right fielder really worked for that one. Get into the east side of right field, and that's just a hard play to make for that right fielder.
So here comes Zane Council following Colby Dye. Right on first for the Aggies. Council takes ball 1. Defensively for the Longhorns, it'll be Martinez in left field, Muller in center, Judd in right, Guerra at shortstop, Beal at third, De La Rosa at second, Mordova at first, who just missed that shallow fly in right field line. And then cashing DeLeo today is Zamuda. A no pitch. Outside low for ball 2.
And it looks like Zane Council is not really much of a power hit, so you're not going to see the outfielders really try to go back at all. Really more of a professional hitter, gets the hits when you even hitting with a 286 average.
I mean, he's got 5 doubles on the year with Dye in position there at first. I mean, a nice little base hit right here could really set them up well.
And DeLeo not liking that call right there. Now for ball 3, a first 3-ball count of the day. Runner at first, still no outs. No foul behind the plate.
Just had to go ahead swing right there. Couldn't catch all of it. I think it was located where he wanted though. Just got a little too on top.
Leo has 35 strikeouts this season. I pick off the guy and check on him at first.
If you're gonna do that pickup, you gotta just move just a little bit quicker off that mound. Try catch die off guard.
3-1 pitch fouled off now on the left side. Full count pitch impending.
Now with the lay, it's all about location. When you don't have that high velocity that these D1 guys got, it's about where you put this ball. If you can get counts on the chase.
Payoff pitch dying to move, and he's just going to get there easily, as will be a walk surrendered from DeLeo.
Yeah, he was looking for that breaking ball, trying to paint that outside corner. Just lost control of it a little bit, just a bit too outside.
So two runners aboard for the Aggies at first and second. Dye at second, and Council at first because of the base on balls.
And that's just Zane Council's 7th walk all year, so good on him to keep his composure on that 3-2 count.
Tyler Dickerson due up.
I gotta say, I was a little nervous right there, Joe. We have a camera set up above this press box, and one wrong foul ball in this broadcast, this TV broadcast could turn into a radio broadcast real quick.
Quick strike one. Leo's 0-1. Nice stop behind the plate from Zamudio. He's counted one.
He's starting these pitches, his pitch counts real well, and then just getting a little caught behind at the end and not giving up that hit, giving up that walk.
1 ball and 1 strike. Kicks and fires. That one slapped towards left field, but just foul.
That is,
Mere inches, and Orlando DeLeo was fortunate there.
that's a lucky break. That's a run if that lands just a couple feet to the right.
You almost hear it's a game of inches a lot of times in football, but it's just the same really in baseball as well.
I mean, that's what we saw with the die single. Barely got left of that foul line. Down the
Tyler
right
Dickinson
side.
has a 372 average, 4 ties on the team, so he's a real hit threat. Really good at bringing those runs in.
1-2 pitch, misses low and outside. Still no outs in the inning for the Longhorns recorded. 2 balls, 2 strikes, fouled again. The left of the third baseline.
Dickerson really jumping on these pitches, a little just too early on his last couple of hits going down that left side. Just gotta have a little more patience, I think, let that pitch come to him.
Do it again at 2-2. That one almost hits Dickerson, but doesn't wear it, and it's going to be 3-2. Coming up again, the second consecutive full count.
It's pretty lucky on DeLeo. Dickerson doesn't bend down there. His base is loaded.
Another payoff. Fouled again now on the left side. What a plate appearance here from Tyler Dickerson.
Good play appearances all around from A&M, really making DeLeo work for every at-bat, riding up that pitch count.
Again, Dickerson just needs a little bit more patience. Hang on for just that extra half second, and any one of those could be a base hit.
Another full count pitch. Checking on the runners. That one's skied towards left field. If it's fair, it's gone. It's going to be foul again.
That's what I was saying earlier. This is a very short outfield and a very high fence. So if you catch this ball right, there's going to be a lot of runs going on in this game today.
We saw just in that extra innings win, the second game of the doubleheader. 11-2 victory for the Aggies. Explosive game. Another full count pitch. Misses low and outside, and the bases will be loaded. 2 straight walks surrendered from Orlando DeLeo.
Now, what do you got to tell your pitcher in this situation? This really sticky situation to start this game off. You're beginning with base load situation. How do you get out of this?
I really think it's all about trying to maintain that control. Don't let your off speeds get too out of the zone, but also don't get in your own head. You get in your own head, and those off speeds get too out of the zone. You start losing control of your fastball, and everything just kind of falls apart. So really, it's about taking a deep breath, knowing where you are, knowing where your feet are, being able to make the pitches that you know you can make.
They're going to go checking him on the mound. Have a quick talk with him. Still no outs in the inning.
Big strategy point here. What are they going to do?
Christian Latouche, the cleanup hitter, now due up for the Aggies. Excuse me. Christian Latondre, excuse me.
That other name, Joe.
Don't know what I was saying. Whatever other name that was.
Some wires got
I
crossed.
think that might have been a cursor. I don't know what that was.
So bases loaded for Christian Latondre. That looks like that one hit him, and that's going to score a run for the Aggies. Right on the forearm. It's going to be a 1-0 early lead for Texas A&M.
That's just a tough way to get this game started. You come out here, it's senior day. You have a lot of life. You have a lot of excitement. You split the series yesterday. You split the games yesterday. And it's just a hard way to begin this game.
I think it's manifesting in some control issues. You're seeing balls go out of the zone. That one just hit him. I think really DeLeo's needing to go back to basics and make sure he can locate the pitches before he can try to do some.
That was Pete
Yes,
Durasic's
overtime.
turn. Yeah, Pete Durasic's turn as he bounced that one off for strike 1.
Durasic's their DH too. Looks like a big guy. Looks like he has some power.
Jurassic 20 RBIs on the career is really good at getting those runners in.
A 1 pitch, misses low and outside. It's like you're saying, Henry, he can get those early strikes, but falls back behind as the plate appearances progress.
I mean, it's just about getting that first out at this point and trying to calm down, take your time. Remember what you like about your pitches, what you don't like, and how you can adjust.
1-1 outside again.
Similar pitch to the last one. Now we're thinking maybe it's a strategy choice, but it's not working out. Maybe he's trying to get the batter to chase.
Zane Council at third, Tyler Dickerson at second. Christian Latondre at first. Down the slap towards left center. Martinez and Moeller on the run. Moeller's going to try to dive for it, but he can't get it. Council will score. Dickerson right behind him. That's going to be a 2 RBI double right there from Pete Durasic. It's going to be 3-0 Aggies.
That's a tough play. It's to try and make out there at center field. And Mueller just looked like he slipped as he was getting to the ball, trying to dive for it too. But yeah, just a tough start right now.
Yeah, great effort nonetheless from Brian Mueller, but what a start from this Aggies offense. It's now to a 3-0 lead with both runners in scoring position. Is now Ethan Burrington skies that one to right field. Judd records the first out of the inning, but they're going to surrender a sac fly. And it's 4-0 Texas A&M.
That's a hard throw to make out there from right. He was pretty deep out there. It was on the line, but just no way he could have got that batter in time.
Andre scores and Durasic moves to third off of the tag.
Costly inning both in runs, but also in pitch count. We're going to see if probably they're going to have to go to the bullpen pretty early in this one.
Rob hitting 7th in the lineup. Runner at third in Durasic. 1 out of the inning, finally got that out that he's been looking for. He takes strike 1.
Right now it's more about how can we stop the bleeding? How can we walk out of this with the no more runs given up? I think DeLeo just kind of needs to go after that zone a little more. I think he's trying to dance around too much,
Yeah, we just saw a
paint the
ball.
corners, but
We just saw a ball hit the dirt. Good save by the catcher there.
One ball and one strike. Misses low. Two balls and one strike. Ball bounced that one towards the right side, the Texas dugout. Excuse me, the A&M dugout.
Vallejo's got 2 strikes here. If he can locate a pitch, that second out's going to be really vital to try to keep the runner on third from scoring.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Off-speed pitch just misses inside. I actually called for strike 3.
I think we need a little more excitement out of that ump on a strikeout.
I can't hear him up here, unfortunately, folks, so you have to rely on that delayed strikeout motion.
You got 2 outs. You still got that runner on third. They gave up 4 runs. Can they give up no more?
First strikeout of the game for DeLeo. That one slapped foul. Andres Ramos.
It's got to be a relief for DeLeo to have that second out because now sac fly isn't possible. You get a ground out, it's much easier to hold that runner at third.
These Aggie batters are battling though at the plate.
Yeah, great
This
at
count's
bats.
going 2-2 or full count.
And this is what you have to come to expect from 9-2 ball club in the conference. As that one slapped towards the third base line. Benjamin Beal going across the diamond. In there to retire the side, but not before the Aggies jump ahead in a early 4-0 lead here in Kyle, Texas at Lehman High School baseball field. We'll be right back here on TSTV Gameday. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back here to TSTV Gameday here at Lehman High School baseball field. The Aggies jumped ahead 4-0 in the top of the first inning. Winners of the second game, the doubleheader, 11-10, keeping that high-octane offense rolling. Here with Henry Joseph Duffey. Thank you for joining us here. We welcome you to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, TSTV Sports. We have plenty of content here. Around the University of Texas at Austin.
I can see why I got confused because the Aggie hitters had a lot of contact and really well hit balls into the outfield.
Plenty of contact we've seen early, but
I just want to say a big shout out to Tyler. He's responsible for a lot of the graphics you see on your screen today, and a big reason for this broadcast. You too, Joe. And we're just happy to be out here.
Yeah, it's a fun time always. Happy to be.
starting for the A&M Aggies, Matt Janik on the mound, be caught by Andres Ramos. Defensively, Tyler Dickerson at third, Colby Dye at short. He scored the first run of the game. Ethan Purrington at second, Christian Latondre at first, Rob Roth at left field, Trey Barte at center, and Zane Council at right. Brian Moore, Alexander Judd, and Johnny Simon, getting third to start off for the Longhorns lineup. As Moore takes ball one high. Caleb Luera, Benjamin Beal, Corey De La Rosa, Dominic Cordova, Alejandro Zamudio, Denny Martinez wrap up the Longhorns lineup. 1-0 pitch, showing bunt was Mueller backing off.
Saw that before with the Aggies as well. Now, this team did put up 11 runs yesterday in that second game and 7 runs in that first game, so they are capable of putting together a pretty productive offense. It's just how they get started here in this first inning.
Early 3-0 count for the Longhorns. Ryan Mueller is the pitcher of the week also for the Longhorns.
I believe he's second on the team in wins right now. We're tied for first in wins with 3 on the mound.
Takes strike 1. 3-1 leadoff walk for Brian Mueller. Let's see if this Texas offense, this conference-leading Texas offense, can respond after being down in 0-4 deficit. Start off the game.
Always a good start to get your leadoff hitter on base.
Texas to score 200 runs this season in the conference. As next is Alexander Judd, who takes ball 1.
It's 200 across, 11 games? It's not bad, folks.
1 ball, no strikes. Slapped above. Count even at 1.
And just a lot of long plate appearances we're seeing early on in this game. And the patience at the plate is impressive.
Mueller with a modest lead at first. Eventually takes off. He's going to get there easily.
He had
Throw from Ramos, not in there in time, but trying to get in the head of the pitcher, Janik, and just ended up taking it anyway.
He had a big step. He was gone from that base a second. That ball wasn't even out of his hand yet, so really good steal. First and second by Mueller.
So a runner in a scoring possession for Texas. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Janik kicks and fires. This is a little bit outside to even the count.
Jack's got some nice speed on that fastball for the club baseball level, so it would be a difficult obstacle to overcome today for the Longhorns.
2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Swung on and missed. First strikeout of the ball game for Matt Janik. There's 1 down.
Just too much hesitation in that swing. Looked like he wanted it, then he didn't, and then kind of just decided to chop at it and resulted in that strikeout.
Johnny Basayan, a runner in scoring position in third. Swings and misses at strike 1. Basayan had a home run yesterday in the doubleheader. See if he can get more offensive magic for the Longhorns. Nice lead from Mueller, trying to get in the head of Janik still. Great lead at second. So now he takes ball 1. It's Basayan.
Gotta capitalize here. If you're Texas, giving up those 4 runs in the top of the first can be killer unless they answer right now.
1 ball, 1 strike. Allen dribbles with nice stop by Ramos behind the plate.
Muller's taking a heavy lead off the second back there. Looks like they're just getting ready for him to take off.
The 2-1. He takes off again, going to third this time, and is going to get there easily sliding. 2 steals for Brian Mueller. He's at third base.
Mueller is killing it, stealing these bases today. Did you see that out there, by the way?
Yeah.
Second baseman trying to taunt him, clapping in his face, ignores it, takes off, and uses that speed really well. He's timing these stolen bases really well.
Now 2 balls, 2 strikes against Johnny Basayan.
You can tell Texas is going for an aggressive approach after that 4-run inning, and this base stealing is really working for him so far.
Great patience at the plate yet again for Texas, and it's now a 3-2 count.
Was that a third or fourth full count total so far, just in the first inning?
Of the game, yeah. Yannick's full count just gets a piece of it behind the plate.
That was a real nut. That was a real nice cut right there to stay alive.
Yeah.
Science got some nice bat speed.
Good awareness to be able to spoil that one and stay alive.
Do it again at 3-2. That one lifted towards right center. Parte on the move. That one's going to bang off the wall. That will score Muller easily. And now Besides heading towards second will stay put. He'll have an RBI double to put Texas on the board. It's 4-1.
I thought that was going towards right field. I was looking at the right fielder. He was looking at the sky like the ball was coming to him. It dropped in center. I was a little confused, but great location, hanging right off the wall. Nothing you can do about that out there. And good way for Texas to get their first run.
Now the cleanup hitter in Caleb Luera. Shortstop. The runner in scoring position and one out. See if he can tack it on more for the Longhorns.
I just keep looking out there over at second. They keep taunting the guys on base as they're trying to steal or as they're leading off, and didn't work out well last time. So we'll see if it works out well again.
For a pickoff at least once, but we haven't seen him much at all. 1-0 pitch for Janik. Dribbles low and outside. Once again, a good stop for Ramos.
Janik now just having some trouble with his location, getting behind the count. He really needs to kind of remember, just focus on the batter. I think he might be thinking about the guys on base a little too much.
Yeah, I think we're seeing something that's eerily similar to the top of the first inning. Issues with control, letting runners get on base. Already down 3-0, getting behind in those counts early. If Texas can keep this up, then maybe it won't be such a bad thing that A&M scored so much in the top half.
Exactly. Now Ramos is going to go to his pitcher and try to hype him up a little bit as Will Die, the shortstop.
Now, we were talking about this a bit pregame, this high-powered offense. These are the two best offenses in the conference going at it, and so far it's on display. Only an out, man on second. They already have a run in. Texas trying to come back here in the bottom of the first.
3-0 pitch towards Luera. This is high, so the second walk from Janik. Now 2 runners for Texas are aboard. That was Ben Beal. The runners at first and second. Smacks that one towards left field. It may have a chance. It is gone! It's a 3-run shot for Benjamin Beal. And the Longhorns have already tied this ball game.
He got all of that one, Joe. That ball was out of there from the start. That was beautiful. We already talked about this bit of a shallow outfield here, but what a great way to tie up this game.
We talked about that offense. You were just saying it. This is the 2 best offenses in the conference. And just like that, we're knotted up at 4, Henry.
You gotta love all the dugout coming out of the field right there. That camaraderie is so fun to watch.
This is a entirely senior starting lineup for senior day.
And they're showing out on both sides so far.
But Beal really showing power. One of the bigger guys on this roster looks like.
You gotta wonder what they're trying to tell the pitcher out there on the mound right now.
Still only 1 out recorded. Only 5 batters that Janik has gone against. We're already tied up at 4. Looks like we're getting another offensive matchup here.
Number 24, Corey De La Rosa.
That was Corey De La Rosa after Beal. And a right on lefty matchup.
It's 4-4. Oh, sorry.
Takes ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. This is inside again. He's just really losing command of the strike zone now.
You gotta imagine he's getting tired. He's throwing his fastball a lot. All these misses, he's getting worn out. Already on his 5th batter of the inning. He's got a full count a couple times. He's just struggling.
Time called by the umpire.
Yeah, it looks like the home plate umpire didn't like what was being said, I guess, from the dugout. Had to set a warning right there to the Longhorns. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Now a smack towards the second baseman, Purrington. Will gather easily for out number 2.
And Henry, you were talking about with the second baseman and shortstop were saying to the runner on base there, like they were trying to point over to the dugout after their umpire gave them that warning.
Well, for Janik at least, he gets that coveted second out. Now it's Dominic Cordova's turn. Cordova starting at first base for Texas. A little iffy swing, but he's going to go around for strike 1.
Yeah, you could tell he didn't like that. He committed to that pitch, but just broke those wrists and now behind 0-1.
Almost the same thing, but holds back. Actually, call. That's a good ball. Did they say he went around him that second pitch?
I think he just found the zone. I believe
Nonetheless,
that
it
count
should
is
be a
right.
2-2 count, yeah.
Yeah.
So with 2 outs, Janik trying to get out of the inning. Smacked up the middle, and that's going to be a 2-out base hit. He just can't get out of it yet. The Longhorns are relentless.
That pitch just hung over the plate way too long, and Cordova just able to capitalize, send it right up the middle, find that gap.
Now the catcher and Alejandro Zamudio getting 8th in the lineup. The runner at first, 2 down. That's off speed in the first pitch for strike 1.
You know, I liked him attacking that first pitch. I thought that was kind of right in his zone. Obviously off target, but I like the aggressiveness there.
No balls and 1 strike. In there for strike 2.
Now, the question is he going to dance around with these next couple of pitches, or is he just going to go straight at him and try and finish this inning and get his team out of this really unfortunate situation for the Aggies?
0-2 pitch fouled off on the right side behind home plate.
I believe this is not the only Texas A&M baseball game happening today, but it is the earliest.
No balls and 2 strikes again. Cordova with a modest lead at first. Janik just 1 strike away. Kicks and fires. Outside for ball 1. One ball and 2 strikes. Too low for ball 2.
I mean, it's just difficult for Janik when you don't have a lot of different pitches in your arsenal to find ways to trick the batter, get him to chase, and get all these tally up these strikeouts.
Yeah, I'm good on the Texas hitters for really.
2-2. Gets him swinging for strike 3. So DeLeo has faced 8, and so has Janik. They both surrendered the same amount of runs. We're not at 4. And we're finally done with 1 here in Kyle, Texas at Lehman High School baseball field on TSTV Gameday. We'll be right back in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. in TSTV Gameday. We're back from the top of the second. The offense is already showing out for both teams as we're knotted at 4. Orlando DeLeo is back for another inning of work. In the top of the first, he had a strikeout and surrendered 2 walks. Now is due to face the 9-hitter, Trey Barte.
I gotta tell you, Barte looks like he could seriously smack this ball.
Talking about the plate presence. Some guys maybe just have that look, you're saying?
Yeah, he's just got large stature. Also, when was the last time you saw a center fielder in the 9-hole?
Last inning, DeLeo threw 34 pitches.
Yeah, not what you want if you're.
Barte smacks that one towards left field. That one gets down. He's going to make his way around for 2. The throw from left field will not be in time, and he'll have a stand-up lead-off double.
It's a little bit risky not sliding in the second
Yeah,
there. Almost got
sure.
tagged out.
Great hitting by both teams here.
He was booking it around the bases, though.
What you said, Henry, actually came true with having that plate presence and turning on that one. Be a runner in scoring position early in this top of the second. A&M is trying to regain the lead as back at the top of the lineup, Colby Dye almost gets hit trying to show bunt.
DeLeo just got to get that breaking ball under a little more control. He's letting it run wild. Nearly hit a couple pitchers way too far outside the strike zone on other times, so just kind of needs to reassess what's going on.
Gets that bunt down. It might be a beauty, but DeLeo gathers it in time for out number 1. Barte advances to third nonetheless off a sacrifice. But that's the big out number 1 in the top of the second.
And they struggle with that in the first inning, just getting that first out. So, yes, Barte got to third and risk letting a run come in here, but getting that first out, that's a big hill to overcome.
Comes Zane Council, the lefty. That off speed gets behind the catcher Zamudio, but he recovers well as Barte retreats back to third.
I think Barte might have had it if he just kind of committed. He had some time. That ball was rolling slowly towards the backstop. But again, DeLeo just losing control of that breaking ball. Not finding the zone like he wants to. And it's becoming a big factor for the Aggies and their offense today.
Last plate appearance, Council drew a walk as he fouls that one in front of the plate.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, Henry. Barty has 15 stolen bases and definitely has the speed to do it, but I think the risk outright the reward in his mind right there.
One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. DeLeo. This is low and inside.
It's too bad that was not a strike, because that was a really nice pitch, Joe.
The 2-1. In there for strike 2 to even the count. Great crowd today for both teams. Historic rivals. Flags flowing. Umbrellas out on what is a hot spring day.
Looks like we have some experienced baseball fans out here.
2-2 pitch smacked from Council. Gets past the second baseman, De La Rosa. And the Aggies will regain the lead to make it 5-4 as Barte scores from third.
That's a tough play over there for De La Rosa at second. I nearly thought he had it on that dive, but just got past his mitt. Nothing he can really do, and then Barte just going to score easily.
That was Tyler Dickerson, who also drew a walk in his first plate appearance of the game. Lane's going to check out the runner in Council. No balls and 1 strike. 1 out. Council's going for second as that one's fouled off by Dickerson. He's going to have to go back.
Now I just get a little bit nervous every time there's a high flying foul ball backwards.
Oh, 2 count. Now a smack towards the third baseman. Beal gonna go for 2. Gets 1 out. Gets another. There you go. 5-4-3 for the twin killing to retire the side. A big double play to get out of trouble, but the Aggies do score a run to regain the lead and make it 5-4 here at the Lehman High School baseball field. We back for the bottom of the second in just a few minutes. Back here for the bottom of the second here in Kyle, Texas. The Aggies regain the lead in the top of the second thanks to an RBI single from Zane Council and scored Trey Barte. And back for another inning of work is Matt Janik, who got a little bit roughed up, as did Orlando DeLeo in the first inning, but it was able to escape with a strikeout of Alejandro Zamudio. Couldn't get past the RBI double from Johnny Basayan and the 3 RBI home run from Ben Beal. So at the bottom of the lineup, the first guy who faces Danny Martinez in this bottom of the second. 9-1 and 2 do well for Texas.
Curious to see how Janik approaches this first batter. See if he can change things up. Maybe get someone to chase. Not get into these really deep counts, not walk as many batters.
One pitch. A quick 0-2.
Yeah, a little bit better control on that opening breaking ball and really making sure to paint that corner, get it inside of that zone.
Now is he going to keep attacking this zone, or is he going to, again, dance around, which was his problem last time, and that's what hurt him and shot him in the foot.
Slap back up in the middle. And that's going to be a leadoff single for Danny Martinez.
You know, and that's that double-edged sword. You try to change your strategy. You're originally trying to get the batters to chase, and now you're trying to get them to miss on a fastball. But when they don't miss and they get the one right up the middle, that's...
Yeah, that pitch just hung over the plate just a little too long and resulted in that base hit.
So runner at first for Texas as Martinez is going to get checked on. Almost didn't get back in time, but gets his right hand in.
Caught us all off guard with that pickoff attempt.
Back at the top of the lineup, Brian Moeller. And Moeller's back to the same thing that got him on base in his first plate appearance to start the game.
I guess it's an interesting rally call coming from the Texas dugout right now. Not exactly sure what that sound is.
I kind of thought there was a pack of dogs over on the third baseline for a second.
Definitely not the sound of a Longhorn, I'll tell you that, folks.
I don't know if they're trying to mimic what they think Reveille might sound like.
1 ball and no strikes.
It's times like these I wish we had a sideline reporter. do some.
On the move is Martinez. The throw down to second, not in time. And they're just picking on Ramos. It's the third steal of the day for Texas.
That ball just on the right line, but had no shot getting there. It was in the dirt just as it was at the mound, so really no chance for them to catch Martinez.
2 balls and no strikes against Moeller. There's a Ward with the walk, his last plate appearance. Runner in a scoring position for the Longhorns. Good lead again for a runner for Texas, but it'll be a strike to make it 2-1.
Stolen bases proving to be a real difference maker for this Texas offense. And they're just taking advantage. The Aggies falling asleep at the wheel just a little bit, but also they're just getting these really good jumps. They're planning them really well. They're being very smart about it, and it's a big credit to their team.
3 balls and 1 strike for the conference-leading Aggies. They're trying to win this rivalry series. 3-1 pitch lifted high in the air. Marte calls it. He'll grab it for right center. Recording out as Martinez is going to challenge him for the tag, and he'll get in there safely.
By the skin of his teeth right there. That was a good throw out there from center field. And Martinez, a little risky, but big risk, big reward.
Great throw from Marte. So now a runner at third for Texas. Alexander Judd due up, a 2-0 hitter. 1 out in the inning.
Picked him with a strikeout early.
Infield is in.
Janik almost hit a couple of these batteries. He's really going after the inside of the zone this time. Just kind of grazing.
One ball, no strikes. As Judd wisely lays off yet again. Judd struck out swinging in his first AB of the day.
It's a good start for his at-bat to take those 2 balls, looking like a little more patient in the box this time around.
2-0 pitch. Swung on a little bit late, fought off. Foul.
Both these teams really aggressive at the plate today. Not shying away from swinging at these pitches they like, and it's paid off so far.
2 balls, 1 strike. And it kicks and fires as that one is fouled aboard home plate.
Looks like he hit himself by accident on that one, Joe. Might have just struck him in the chest slightly.
Now Janik has fought back in this plate appearance against Judd after being down 2 balls and no strikes.
I wonder what Ramos is saying to there on the mound.
The Longhorns, after losing their lead in the top of the second, trying to knock this one again. Up the stretch is Janik. 2-2 count. Now and fought off, fouled towards right field, and just out of play. Pitch count getting up there for Matt Janik. 49 pitches through 1 1/3.
He keeps going like this, he's going to have to be pulled soon just because of not wanting to risk injury to his arm.
Nonetheless, he gets Judd swinging. That makes it 2 outs in the inning.
And that's just a huge out right there. Runner on third to get that strikeout. Now you can't hit a ground ball and get the runner in from third. You can't get a sac fly. It's a big, big break for the pitcher right there.
Third strikeout of the game for Janik. That was Johnny Sine. put the Longhorns on the board in the top of the first with an RBI double. Excuse me, the bottom of the first. Scoring Muller. See if he can tie this game up. Takes ball one.
Yeah, I think I need to apologize for jinxing Judd on that last at bat. By the way, it's called the announcer's jinx, and it's a curse.
Swinging and missing is signed to make it 1 ball and 1 strike. Kenny Martinez still at third. 1-1. Taking inside.
That's a pitch I would like to see him swing at.
2 balls and 1 strike. Take it low and outside.
Just another one of those good at bats, really seeing the ball well for the Texas batters.
The 3-1. Low and outside, and it's going to be a 2-out walk surrendered by Janik. His 3rd walk of the game.
It's got to put him at like 55, 56 pitches now. Only 2 outs in the second. He's can't imagine his arm is going to last too much longer.
Runners are on the corners for the Longhorns.
Key for the rest of this inning is just get out of it, try not to score a run, and rest that arm.
That's Caleb Guerra. First pitch swinging towards right field. Council on the move to retire the side. The Longhorns leave 2 aboard on the corners. Can't tie the game just yet. And the Aggies will escape the second, leading 5-4. We're heading to the top of the 3rd here on TSTV Gameday. Don't go anywhere.
Christopher
Back here on TSTV Gameday. Top of the 3rd here at Lehman High School baseball field. Ohio, Texas, the Aggies still leading 5-4. That one is going to be a leadoff hit by pitch. Christian LeCondre.
next up number 7. Congrats.
Starts at top of the 3rd.
Congrats.
Now Pete Durant's with a 2 RBI double in 5th. The lineup. Ball 1.
Good job by the leadoff hitters here getting on base and really allowing their offenses to string stuff together.
No ball, no strikes. Not going anywhere is not grand.
Just a catastrophic set of events for Texas.
One ball, no strikes. Fouled behind home plate.
Should brought my mitt today, guys. Catch one of these coming to the press box.
That's the dream.
Runner at third for A&M. As that one escapes the catcher Zamudio, and that's going to be another run to score for the Aggies.
What a
Standing off the
catastrophic.
wild pitch. Scoring was the Thunder.
You know, in that situation that just happened right there, I'd like to see a little more effort coming from DeLeo to get off the mound and get to home. Try and get that tag. You know, you have a chance. Obviously, it's a close one, but
So the count is now full. Zarashik takes strike two. Still no outs recorded.
Catastrophic for Texas Latondra. Go from first to home on no hit.
Now Durasic takes ball four, and that's going to be another walk surrendered by DeLeo. Runners at first now, as Ethan Purrington is now due up. Durasic on the move, and he'll get in there sliding safely. Steal for the Aggies, and they're in scoring position again.
those nice throws on target. Just not enough power, and just going to give up that stolen base.
Could have been worse. A little bit of a miss by the second baseman. Good job by the shortstop to get it behind him. And you got to wonder when Texas is going to try to put somebody into their bullpen.
1-0 count. Purrington scored an RBI via sac fly. His last plate appearance. As DeLeo's going to try to check on Durasic at second.
DeLeo had really nice location in the second inning. Curious to see if he can continue that here through the rest of the game.
Is 1-0. Smacked and fouled off the body of Purrington.
Just hanging a couple of these pitches a little too much, some a little bit too high. Giving the Aggies a easy base hit.
Nonetheless, a quick 0-2 for DeLeo. His pitch to count is also getting up there. Nice take off the slider and ball one.
In a game like this, I know it's early, but it's going to be decided on who can take control of the mound first.
One ball and two strikes with a runner in scoring position. Still no outs. And just misses for ball two.
Ooh, that's a bad break right there for DeLeo. I thought he had that strikeout, and now he's got that even count.
DeLeo only has one strikeout today. He got Rob Roth in the bottom of the first. Kind of looking.
We're seeing this continuation of a trend. You're getting into these at-bats, and you may even be getting ahead for DeLeo, but kind of losing it here at the end. Now we got a full count, and what was a once-a-strikeout opportunity is now a possible walk.
It's just a big pitch coming up, and that's why Zamudio is going to the mound. As that missed just a little bit low.
This is a difficult strike zone he's dealing with. Been on the smaller side. Going more towards the batters. So both teams. And just making it difficult for these pitchers.
Looks to be Kincaid Dilzell warming up in the bullpen for the Longhorns.
And you had to wonder when that was coming. High pitch count for DeLeo.
3-2 pitch. Good lead for Durasic at second. Still not going anywhere, and that one's going to be ball four. So now runners will be on the corners for the Aggies.
Now it's these wild pitches that are proven to be fatal in these last couple of innings. And until they get that under control, it's going to be hard for Texas to keep them scoreless on the defensive side.
3 straight innings with at least 1 run scored.
Leo leads this team in strikeouts, but he hasn't been able to finish the job with 2 strikes against these ferocious Aggies on offense. Runners on the corners as Rob Roth takes ball 1. Again, the only registered strikeout for Leo today was against Rob Roth, the 7-hole hitter. Showing bunt was Roth again. He's off for ball 2. A&M trying to increase their lead. And there for strike 1. Finally on the board is DeLeo.
Wouldn't be surprised. No outs. See a bunt towards the first base side.
Perfect.
Easy
sacrifice
run
for
from
me.
third base.
The 2-1. Lifted high and foul behind the left side of home plate.
And you'd think Texas would hope to not have to put in a pitcher in the bullpen before the inning is over. You're going to have to see how DeLeo handles these batters.
The 2-2. Great off-speed changeup. Strike number 3. And strikeout number 2 for DeLeo. A crucial first out in this bottom of the 3rd.
That was a beautiful pitch, Joe.
Yeah.
And him to chase that off speed. Great pitch selection. And some smart thinking by DeLeo.
So 1 down with runners at the corners. Harrington trying to go. They'll get there easy without a throw. Both runners in scoring position for A&M.
You got to think that last pitch by DeLeo is something we've been building up to. A little bit of a lack of control in the first couple innings, but what a great pitch right there.
Almost swinging and missing for strike 1 to count even at 1.
DeLeo finding his groove a little bit now. Seems a little more confident in these pitches, getting them to chase more, and perhaps get another strikeout.
The 1-1. This is low for ball 2.
Strikeout something you want after DeLeo. Also, double play not in order. Kind of not what you wanted with that stolen base right there. But a strikeout would be really, really influential in trying to get out of this unscathed.
2 balls, 1 strike. This is outside of the fastball. And Kincaid Dozell was warming up in the bullpen. We'll see how that looks in just a few minutes, or if DeLeo can finish this one out. Another 3-ball count. 3-1. Inside corner for strike 2. Great fight from DeLeo.
And another full count.
The 3-2. Lifted high in the infield. DeLeo will take it himself for out number 2.
Texas just trying to find any way to get an out. DeLeo, these last 2 batters has looked really good. His
What a big
location has
break.
been on target. He's finding the strike zone well, and now they're at 2 outs.
What a big break getting that pop up in the infield, not allowing the runner on third to score.
Trey Barte now due up the 9-hole hitter, had a double from the top of the 2nd. One score from Zane Council's RBI single. He takes one outside, ball 1. Good fastball from DeLeo to even the count.
Letting the dog eat right there. Great job to kind of get that by him.
1 ball and 1 strike. 6-4 game. That one gets past the catcher Zamudio. But again, no move from Jurassic.
That one really surprised me for me. I feel like that would have been a score, but if you're not going to fully commit to the beginning, then you don't run at all. And I think that's what happened right there.
A&M tacked on a run from wild pitch. Tundra scored. That one almost hits Barton.
Yeah, that just cut inside at the end there. And lucky break for DeLeo to avoid another bases loaded situation.
3-1. Strike 2 inside corner.
Big
One
pitch.
pitch away is DeLeo.
Bases loaded or get out of the inning.
3-2. Swung on towards the third baseman in Beal. Across the diamond. Good throw in time for out number 3 to retire the side. The Aggies lead 2 on, both in scoring position, but do add a run in this top of the third to make it 6-4. We're heading to the bottom of the third here in Kyle, Texas. Don't go anywhere.
And welcome back to Lincoln High School Field. We're back at the bottom of the third. A&M leads Texas 6-4. Benjamin Beal will bat first. Benjamin Beal doing some great things defensively at third base, and we'll see if he can get on base leadoff to try to get this two-run lead shortened a little bit.
I've been saying it in every break. Ben Beal is killing it at third. Every ball that has gone over there, he's reeled it in nicely. Nice throw to first. Nice throw to second to force a double play. Ben Beal is my player of the game right now on the defensive side for Texas.
Absolutely, just great defense, and it could be a lot worse of a lead for Texas. And that ball's going to be in there for strike 2. That's going to go outside for ball 1. Tyler Strempel here with Henry Hipschman and Joseph Duffey here for the bottom of the third.
Now, last time we saw Beal at the plate, he had that 3-run home run. Love to see that power on display again. Again, he's just doing it on both sides of the ball. I told Joe I might need to buy a Ben Beal jersey after this game because he, again, is having a great outing today.
The pitch fouled off. Looked like he checked that swing, but still it almost went fair. I don't know if that says something about his power or just a little bit of a coincidence right there. And that pitch fouled away over
Now, Joe, I'm getting a little nervous because your car is in one of these parking lots out here. If someone hits it right, you might need a new windshield.
I might not be
Trailers
a happy
up for
camper
Joe's
on this
green
way out,
Mazda
yeah.
Over at the right field parking garage. He's going to foul that right over to the on-deck hitter. What a catch off the bounce. The count stays at 1 and 2.
We actually will have a GoFundMe link if Joe's car does get hit, so please donate.
If you would like to donate to Joe's Mazda Protege windshield,
Yeah, because
we'll
these
put that in the
guys,
chat should that occur.
are mashing today.
No, we thank Joe. He did pick us up. He was our transpo today. Wouldn't have done it without him. As that ball is outside, 2-2 count for Beal.
I think if you picked us up in a Prius, I wouldn't have gone though.
Hey, you know those hybrids good for the environment.
You can have an electric car without having a
And
Prius.
that ball is hit right into the left center gap. He's going to stay at first. Beal gets that base hit to lead off the inning. And that's exactly what you want if you're Texas. Getting that lead off hitter to get right on base. And that's just great news. And Corey De La Rosa will come up to bat.
Benjamin Beal is on fire. He's killing it. That was an awesome base hit out there.
Like you were saying, doing on both sides of the ball. Really, really valuable to Texas today. And that's going to be low for ball 1. And if you're Janik, you're trying to avoid any sort of situation like the first 2 innings. Try to get batters out early, not allow batters on base. It's going to be ball 2.
I think what we saw from Janik in that first inning was just relying on his fastball a little too much and just trying to hit different parts of the zone and trick the batters. And then Texas caught wind pretty quickly, took advantage. We've seen him improve. Another stolen base here for Texas.
And that Benjamin Beal stolen base hit. Oh, a little bit of a double celebration now on Texas D1 baseball. What a great game for Bill so far. That's ball 3, so 3-0 count for Janik. And De La Rosa capitalized on this with a walk, or maybe if Janik can get it to the third pitch inside the strike zone, this is a hit opportunity.
I gotta say, Ben Beal, you know, one of the bigger guys on the team, huskier guys, he had some speed. He was booking it to second.
Yeah, and the catcher for A&M, Andres Ramos, was not even going to try to throw it because he was just too late.
We've just been informed he hasn't been caught stealing this year, and honestly, that's not too much of a surprise.
Didn't look like it. 3-1 count, and that pitch just in there for strike 2, and it's a full count for De La Rosa.
Now, Janik's been fighting just as hard as DeLeo. And you see it yet again. Down 3-0 in the count, fighting back for a full count pitch.
Now, is this more of a compliment to these teams' offenses, or is this individual struggle for both of these pitchers?
Ball's
think it's
hit
just about
down
the
up middle.
offenses to
That
me.
second baseman going to cover. Ball goes out of play. Ben Beal is going to score. It's going to be, and this is going to be scored most likely in a single from the throwing error. So De La Rosa gets to second base. Beal who scores from home, and it's 6-5 Aggies. And to your point, Henry, I think you can kind of categorize this as, yes, it's very good at-bats by both teams on the offense to allow them to stay in counts and get these hits. I also think that the pitchers, you know, there are some control issues in the first couple innings, but I do think that they have recovered a little bit. We're seeing a little less offense, a little more control on both sides. And it's going to be a mound visit. They're going to talk to Janik. There seems to be somebody in the A&M bullpen.
It's got to be expected. Not only is Janik, you know, high in his pitch count at this point in the game, it's just been a struggle each inning for him to really find his groove and to show a pattern of success against these Texas batters.
A little bit difficult to see who's in the bullpen through here. Janik at 70 pitches here with no outs in the bottom of the third. That pitch fouled off over the first baseline. 0-1 count. This is Dominic Cordova. Got De La Rosa over at second thanks to that single and error. That's outside. Ball one.
Thought De La Rosa might have gone for third, but smart decision to stay put. Be a little hesitant.
22. We have a number for that? No, we don't. Okay. Softball hit over to third base. Easy out. That's the first out of the inning. Dominic Cordova out on a ground out. Almost going to be scored as a 5-3. Corey De La Rosa stays at second. Important first out for Matt Janik.
Nice job by Tyler Dickinson over there at third. Just routine play, routine ground out, but not making any silly mistakes and getting his team that out.
And also keeping the runner at second. Make sure to look him off and the man at bay.
This is going to be Alejandro Zamudio up in the batter's box, and that first pitch is going to be outside for ball one. And a swing and a miss by Zamudio. It's a 1-1 count. As is tradition here on TSTV Gameday, we switch roles every once in a while. So for the first 2.5 innings, I was over on the computer doing the graphics, and we've switched to where I'm doing play-by-play. Henry's going to do color. Joe doing some analysis, but also Joe now in charge of the graphics for a little bit. He's doing a great job, and that's a ball hit right up the gap between short and third. And that's going to be Zamudio stays at first base. Corey De La Rosa over to third. Runners on the corners with one out. Now we're in a bit of a sticky situation for Matt Janik.
I gotta say, I'm a little nervous, Tyler, if I have to hop on that computer at some point, because I have to ask my grandma for help with technology. So,
You know, times are changing. It's a
just want to apologize to the viewers in advance if I do hop on that computer later on.
You know, if you see some issues with graphics, just type in the chat. We love you, Henry. We stand with you.
But seriously, props to Tyler Strempel with these graphics, because we have never had really anything like this before for TSTV Gameday.
And that engineering degree going to good use.
Oh yeah.
You know, as is the running joke now at TST, I'm an engineer. All right, so number 22 in the bullpen for A&M. A little bit of a mound visit by Ramos over to Janik.
That'd be great for Texas to get Martinez on base. You see him use his speed.
One. Not going to make that throw over. All right, so they're going to get the runner at third. A run is going to score for Texas. It is tied up at 6. That was Brian Mueller doing a good job to just get the ball in play there.
That was a beautiful play right there at third base to get the lead runner, or not the lead runner, excuse me, but a force out at second. Getting it out is crucial for your pitcher whose pitch count is getting a little bit high, and I'm sure he's getting a little bit tired as well in this heat. But that's a big second out.
Just a great job by Mueller bringing in De La Rosa. A little bit of a casualty over at second was Emilio, but a necessary one. And that's going to be a stolen base attempt. And Brian Mueller is in there at second base with the stolen.
And Dave Martinez stealing second again. Texas just having their way around the bases right now. And the Aggies, it just seems like they're not even kind of bothering with trying to stop it as much as they used to. As Martinez rounds third, heads home, and he scores.
Wow, what a hit there. What a base running done by Danny Martinez, and Texas has taken the lead. 7-6 here in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. I'd like to make a retraction. There was a bit of a mistake on it, and I am. There was Danny Martinez with the hit, stolen base, and now being able to score off of the hit by Brian Mueller.
And this Texas offense is kind of just flowing right now. Attacking the ball really well. Doesn't feel like there's any hiccups in any of these last 6 batters who have gone to the plate. So they're just looking really good. I know Janik's struggling. Looks like he might be coming off the mound finally.
Yeah, this is going to be a pitching change. Number 22 coming in for Texas A&M. Janik coming out here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. And that is going to be Stephen Hallmark coming in for Texas A&M after. Do we have a pitch count for Janik again? Two and 2/3 innings pitched by Matt Janik, allowing 7 earned runs. Hallmark will come in here in the bottom of the third. A little bit of a sidearm delivery, so we'll see how the Texas batters can counteract that here.
And you got Judd, who's going to head up to the plate right now. And that could be a bit of an easy welcome for Hallmark. He struck out twice today. He's struggling a little bit. This could either be a good time for him to find his spark or for the Texas defense, the Texas A&M defense, to finally come out of this inning with a little positivity.
Yeah, you know they say when it rains it pours, and we're seeing a bit of an offensive explosion of sorts here for Texas, and we'll see if it can extend to Judd. Will it be a hit or will it be a hat trick? Remains to be seen. We're here in the warm-up stages.
We're watching Hallmark warm up right now. He really likes that sidearm pitch.
You don't see that as much as you used to, I'll tell you that much.
And it's going to be interesting to see how Judd kind of approaches this at the plate. He's really
Quite the
getting out
funky
there.
delivery that I feel like I always go against in MLB The Show, to be honest with you.
It's just it's a totally different thing, and for Texas batters it's going to be different because you have to find a way to look at the ball from a different release point. So it really remains to be seen if they're able to track the ball the same way that they did when Matt Janik was on the mound.
Now Judd, again, he struck out twice today. He's facing this little funky style of pitch right now. Could be a little difficult for him to assimilate, or, again, could be the spark he needs to get going.
Almost jogging off of the mound after every pitch. That's strike 1, though, right in the zone.
Can't remember
2
last
outs.
time I saw a sidearm pitcher.
I don't think I've ever seen a sidearm pitcher with that much motion afterwards. Looks like he kind of fouled it into himself there, taking a second.
It was Judd who did that earlier as well. He fouled it into his stomach. And I gotta say, Hallmark, he's ending up like 3-4 feet to the left instead of forward. And how much power are you losing on your pitch when you do that?
I'm even thinking about, like, if you do that too early, you've got like a block situation going on. So a lot of precision you need to be able to get off the mound at that point after the release point. But I think it's also contributing to kind of tricking the batter in terms of release point because you don't know where that ball's coming from. Consequently, you don't know where it's going.
Judd, I think, just taking a second.
I think he fouled it up into his chest or maybe his face area. He's kind of laughing about it, just taking a second.
I think perhaps the family jewels might have been affected as well.
Yeah, you never want to see that. Prayers up for Judd. Future children. 2 strikes, no balls, so good pitches here from Hallmark to begin.
Obviously, we don't know that for sure, by the way. Don't want to speculate.
Yeah, we
Of
don't want to
course,
speculate.
of course.
I don't want to speculate. Sorry about that.
Of course. A little bit of a half swing, a floater, right into right field. And the throw in, it's going to be in time. That's a run scored. It's 8-6 Texas here after an RBI double by Alexander Judd. It looks like that was exactly what he needed to get here. Start going on offense, and it's a 2-run lead. 4 runs scored for Texas here in the bottom of the third. This
You
is
see
a
the
dream inning.
you see the skull on the dugout. They're doing the Texas D1
We've got some push-ups.
celebration at second base, and good for Judd right there, putting the bat to ball after having a tough day, 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts, and scoring a run to make it 8-6.
Yeah, he jumped on that pitch really well. And I gotta say, that was a really brave decision by Brian Muller to go home there. Nearly got tagged out. We've seen Texas, they're winning a lot of these really close calls at these bases, but really, again, a brave decision for him, almost risking it out and giving up a run, but, you know, now they're taking that 2-run lead.
And that pitch is going to be in there for ball 2. Seems like Judd was actually able to read the side on Hallmark's pitches a little easier, able to get that floater right between second base and first base out in the outfield.
Judd, kind of the last batter in this lineup to really, get something productive going today. So now this whole offense is firing on all cylinders. How many more runs are we going to see? There's 2 outs, obviously, but another stolen base.
Yeah, that's me, Alexander Judd, stealing third and a 4-pitch walk for Johnny Pasayon. Runners on the corners here with 2 outs, still in the bottom of the third. We're seeing a pretty long game in terms of time, thanks to all these offensive appearances. I'm never one to say I want less baseball, so I'm kind of here for it. Well, we've got a little bit of a pickle thing going on. Looks like. All right, and Alexander Judd is going to be called out at home after a little bit of a weird base running situation. Looks like Pasayon tried to steal. He was in a pickle, but then they tried to throw it home, and that's going to be the final out. 8-6 Texas after the bottom of the third. And we will be right back here on TSTV Gameday. And welcome back to TSTV Gameday here at Lehman High School Field. A good inning for the Texas Longhorns offense. 4 runs scored in the bottom of the third, and is now 2 unbeaten in the opposite direction. 8-6 Texas going on top of the fourth, and notably, DeLeo still in the game here after allowing 6 runs. A little bit of control issues here and there, but a little bit of a spark we saw on the top of the third inning. We saw some good pitches. Henry, what do you think we're going to see from DeLeo here in this top half of the fourth?
I would like him to bring back the breaking ball a little bit more, just have it more under control. We didn't see it as much in that second and third inning as we saw it in the first, so it'd be great to see that. But, I just really want to see him have a little confidence. When he gets confidence and he gets in a groove, he's pitching really well. I think I jinxed him again, gave up a base hit, gonna take first with ease, but
Colby Dye getting a first pitch base hit over to left field. And yet another time, the leadoff hitter getting on base at the top of these innings. You got to think that's going to help this offense, and the passing the torch mentality is really working for both teams here.
Well, Dye's just having a really great day. He's 2 for 3, had a sac bunt in the second. So he's just being really productive. He's hot. A lot of this team is hot right now. And I know it's been a struggle at some points, but again, when DeLeo gets in his groove, he's getting some really great at-bats against these Aggies, and he's being very productive.
As DeLeo throws a fastball in the zone. Swing and a miss by Zane Council, and that's going to be strike one. We've got Colby Dye on first, no outs. Really quick start to the inning for the Aggies offense. A little bit of a check over, but no throw over. Slides in back easily.
It's a bit funky the way he threatened that pickoff attempt, very stuttered and quick.
Oh, and Dye will run the throw over, and he's going to be in there well before the throw, and that's a stolen base for Colby Dye.
Again, nothing you can do. Dye, just an athletic player. Has a lot of speed, timed that very well, and easy stolen base for him.
Now you've got a runner in scoring position for the Aggies here with no outs in the top of the fourth. And yet again, just this Aggie offense really getting it going early, putting DeLeo in a sticky situation. And that's going to be outside for ball one. You see DeLeo kind of wondering what happened to that ball. Notably, the pitcher who used to be in the bullpen is no longer throwing. So you have to assume he's either warmed up and ready or they're just trying to let DeLeo go as long as he can here on senior day. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no out. Staying counsel. And that's going to be a foul ball over into almost the bullpen here over near the third baseline.
Again, nice use of the breaking ball. Getting that top left corner. Having him foul it off. Just really nice pitch selection.
You're right, Henry. I'm getting a little bit of a heart attack every time I see one of those balls because of that camera situation we got going up there.
Yes, for those who don't know, we do have a camera on top of the press box of which you're getting your view from. And one wrong foul ball, and that camera's probably going down. So,
Speaking of foul ball, another foul ball there by counsel, and it's still 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Oh, trust me, fellas. I'll let you know when it's when it gets hit based on this angle.
Yeah, we got a
Hopefully not.
preview thing. If the camera goes out, stay with us. Our voices will still be in play. Pitch. And that's going to be outside for a ball, 2-2 count.
I think if
Counsel.
sorry about that. I think if that camera does break, this may be the last TSTV game day we ever have. Not sure how much equipment we'll be getting after.
Into another pitch. Counsel hitting a soft roll over to third base to throw over to first.
Wow.
And he gets the runner. Advancing to third is going to be Colby Dye, but a great play by Benjamin Beal, yet another defensive gem to throw that ball real fast over the first base. Great catch in the first out of the inning. Now DeLeo has only a runner on third, but that runner on third is 1 out.
You
so
want to say it, Henry, or do I say it?
Ben Beal is balling right now. This is crazy. That was an amazing play. He was falling down. He made that throw with ease. He's just got great field vision over there. He's executing these really well. I really like what I'm seeing from him. And then on the offensive side of the ball, we'll talk about it later when he's up at bat again. But again, Ben Beal, right now, player of the game.
Off the back foot, fading away almost.
It's not an easy play.
Crazy plays for this game. And that pitch is in there. It's going to be 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here for DeLeo. This is Tyler Dickerson up in the batter's box.
Now, Dickerson hasn't been one of the better batters today for the Aggies. He set a walk, grounded out in his second at-bat. So this is definitely a good time for DeLeo to seek that second out.
A good opportunity right here is that last ball was fouled in the mid over the first baseline.
Yeah, and not just a standard ground out either. He grounded into a double play to end the inning, thanks to Ben Beal going 5-4-3.
And that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. That's going to be a strikeout for DeLeo. 2 outs here in the top of the fourth.
Again, just DeLeo capitalizing on a batter who was struggling for the Aggies and doing what he's supposed to do, getting that second out.
And you kind of needed that if you're DeLeo to make sure that it's a little harder for Colby Dye over at third. And now we have Christian Latondra. 2 appearances, both hit by pitches so far in this game. So, do you change your strategy or you try to get hit again? Swing and a miss, strike 1.
I wouldn't say any of these players really tried to get hit. He definitely took advantage, though, got the run out of it.
You know,
He has been hit twice today, so maybe he's got some kind of
a little
ball
bit of
magnetism towards him.
A little bit of luck on that end for sure. If that ball's kind of curved.
Maybe
Out
hanging
of there
over
for
the
ball
plate.
1.
Sorry about that. Maybe hanging over the plate just a little too much.
I don't know what it is about some guys, but there are guys who just, there's no explanation for it. Sometimes they just get hit more than others. I don't know how consistent that is with the...
drop ball, but a good job by the catcher to run over. Good hustle to pick that ball up and holds Colby Dye over at third.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I don't know how consistent that is with this season, how many times he's been hit, but there's some players certainly in the MLB that just get hit every single year for some reason. One that comes to mind is Josh Smith from the Texas Rangers. Gets hit a lot, doesn't crowd the plate, just gets hit.
Think of Anthony Rizzo a little bit too.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely. You know, it just kind of happens. You get hit or you don't, and it comes in bunches. And that ball is kind of smoked over to left field, and that's going to go past the left fielder. It's going to be a base hit, and that's going to score the run from third. Colby Dye. It is now 8-7. Here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, Latondra had all of that one, and I think he probably heard us up here trying to prove us wrong. Really beautiful hit out there to left field, and Dye just going to score easily over there from third.
So, I mean, 3 times on base for Christian Latondra. It's a good day for him. And that's going to bring up Pete Durasic, as the first pitch is going to be slightly out of there for ball 1. So now you've got Christian Latondra on first. As that ball's hit over into right field, it's going to be again past the right fielder, and that's going to bring Latondra over to third. He's going to be held up. It's a double for Pete Durasic. Stringing some hits together. The Aggies are coming in strong, a little ferocious, as Joe said earlier. And now we've got 2 outs. DeLeo's kind of in a sticky situation because of wrong pitch, and the Aggies can not only tie it, but they can take the lead here.
Those pitches just hanging a little bit too much on those last 2 batters, and resulting in these powerful line drives out to the outfield.
Ethan Purrington in the box, and that first pitch for ball 1 very nearly hit him, almost clipped him on the jersey right there. Way inside. 1 ball, no strikes. And that's going to be outside for ball 2, and even though they're not inside, you can see a lot of movement on these pitches. He's got a good movement. It's just about controlling it has been the problem today. It's 2 balls, no strikes. And it's going to be ball 3, so 3-0 count with runners on second and third. It's a 4-pitch walk, and now all of a sudden the bases are loaded for DeLeo. Purrington gets on a 4-pitch walk, and Rob Ruff, 2 strikeouts today in the game, so a little bit of a similar situation as last inning to Alexander Judd. We have 2 strikeouts. Can Rob Ruff turn it on in a bases loaded situation for the Aggies?
This kind of brings us back to earlier with Tyler Dickerson, a batter who's struggling a little bit more. DeLeo was able to take advantage, get that strikeout earlier in the inning, and if he can do that here again, it's just doing his job, doing what he's supposed to do, taking the easy outs where they come.
That ball's fouled over past the third base line into the crowd for strike 1. 4-run inning for the Aggies in the first, and then 1 run in each of the innings, so consistency is the name of the game for the Aggies here today. As that one curves a little bit outside for ball 1. Now for Rob Ruff, seeing the shortstop stand almost, actually, yes, he is standing in the outfield here, so we're seeing him shift a little bit back for Rob Ruff here. Wonder if that means they're anticipating some hard hit ball out of Rob Ruff. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Ball's just going to end up being a little bit outside. Ball 3, so 3 balls, 1 strikes for Rob Ruff in a bases loaded situation. And that's going to be outside, so a bases loaded walk, and this game is tied up at 8-8.
And that's just something you can't do there. When it's bases loaded, you cannot walk the batter. Try and give him a pitch that could turn into a ground out, pop fly, something, but not the way DeLeo wanted to go.
an eventful game. A lot of back and forth here. One team has the lead, the other one ties it. And it's a little fun to watch. I think we're all kind of watching up here to see if Texas does any action in the bullpen to try to replace DeLeo. How much of a leash does DeLeo actually have?
And he's so close, just 1 out away.
Because that ball is going to be outside for ball one, and I think that's been the theme all game, Joe, and correct me if I'm wrong, is we're seeing good at-bats to begin, and he kind of just falls apart either at the end of a bat or at the end of an inning. We're seeing a loss of control. He's trying too much, I think, to get the batter out. It's causing A&M to kind of pounce on his mistakes, and another ball outside for ball two.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally we've seen him attack the count early, a lot of first pitch strikes. But following that, he's surrendered a lot of walks, just losing the count with 2 strikes. So can't finish them off, as he is their leader in strikeouts, but hasn't had as many strikeouts today as he would have expected.
Smoked into left field, and that's gonna be an extra base hit. 1 run scores, 2 run scores, safe into third, and that is Andres Ramos, the catcher, with a 2 RBI single.
Yep, 2 RBI
And
single.
that's going to be another 2-run lead. We've switched back. It's 10-8, Texas A&M. So switching back from these 2-run leads, offense is both on fire, and now it looks like we are going to see that pitching change. It looks like DeLeo's leash is finally let out.
I think that's the problem we saw with Janik on the Aggie side. Just location problems. Ball just not quite in the right zone, hanging some pitches, some wild pitches. Just leads to errors, leads to big hits like that, and leads to a 2-run lead now for Texas A&M.
And I'm going to be honest here. 105 pitches for DeLeo, and a long outing, and we're only in the 4th. Just goes to show how these offenses have been operating, and I'm going to be really honest here. If you saw on the screen right there, there's a bit of an issue with the graphics. I did not make this with the intent of either team getting double digits, so we had to adjust a little bit. Kind of a fun little quirk.
Good thing we have professional graphics operator Joe Duffey on the helm.
You know, recruiters, if you're ever looking for someone, Joe Duffey is jack of all trades. Play-by-play, graphics operator, color analyst, friend.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. But you love to see just DeLeo hanging it all out there. Really, 105 pitches, as we just heard, on this senior day matchup. Getting a little bit of an applause on the way out, but I think it goes back to that question you're asking: is it just the pitcher struggling today, or is it the offense is just cooking? I have to go with the latter. I think the offense is just too good. This is 2 great offenses, the 2 of the best in the conference. And looking at these offenses, I just don't think there's much these pitchers could have really done, to be honest with you.
The new pitcher in the game, Kincaid Delzell, in for the Texas Longhorns after a 105-pitch, 3 2/3 outing for DeLeo. And he's going to come in with runners on the corner, so a bit of a mess that DeLeo has kind of left. But 2 outs, if he can get 1 out, not a bad inning.
Yeah, and runners in the corners, both of them are DeLeo's responsibility. And we saw Delzell warming up probably about half an hour ago. Eventually he disappeared, but it looks like he was just warmed up and ready to go and just was sitting in the dugout after all. But we'll see what he can do here. Just needs 1 out to get out of this top of the 4th inning.
I think they really just want to keep DeLeo in there as long as they could. Get as much out of his arm as much as they could. You know, he got to 105 pitches. That can do a lot. That can put a lot of strain on you. That could lead to some base hits like we just saw. So getting some fresh legs in there, some fresh arms, that could really change things in this game.
But I think there's something to be said, too, about the possibility that Texas just didn't want to dip into the bullpen earlier than they had to. I mean, even then, 4th inning, still pretty early for a bullpen, but after 105, you kind of feel like you have to. Texas's offense can be as potent as they've been earlier in the game. Pitching is much of a problem here. Kincaid Delzell coming in the box is going to be the 9-hole hitter, Trey Barte.
Now this is a scary at-bat for Delzell. Barte already had that double earlier on. He's got the runners on the corners, like you said, Tyler. So how he gets out of this, it's a big test for him in his first couple of pitches on the mound.
And in this inning, we're seeing the first of the game. All 9 hitters for Texas A&M making an appearance in the same inning. All ready for the first pitch. And it's going to be high for the first ball.
Arte almost taking a swing at that. Some eye candy right there. Smart to lay off and take the ball.
Looks to be a little bit of an overcorrection there as that ball's low for ball 2. Now it's a 2-0 count. Runners on the corners here.
This umpire making it a little difficult for these pitchers today, not really giving up anything. Smaller strike zone make it difficult for Delzell to go through his selection, go through his arsenal, and come out with a strikeout.
Delzell trying to check on the runner at first, Andres Ramos. And is gearing up for the pitch on 2-0 count. Straight ahead. Alright, and that's going to be low again, so it's a 3-0 count for Trey Barte, and looks like that warm-up. We're still a little bit in the warm-up stages for Delzell. We'll see what he can do on 3-0 count. And it's a 4-pitch walk for Kincaid Delzell, and the bases are back to being loaded after Trey Barte gets on first, moving Andres Ramos to second base. And coming up to bat for the second time in the inning is the leadoff hitter Colby Dye.
It's a hard gauntlet that Delzell has to go through to start his day. First with Barte, then he has to go to Dye, who has a couple hits, a sac bunt, and then he has to go to Zane Council, who has an RBI single and a run in the first inning.
And Dye on the first pitch hits a ball that's going to be fair into right field. That's going to score 2 runs. It's going to be an 2 RBI double. Texas A&M opening up the lead now in a 4-run lead. It's 12-8 with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th.
It's now 3 RBIs this inning for Colby Dye and 2 at-bats. And it's not getting any easier now with Zane Council coming up.
And the A&M offense just completely popping off now. Both runners in scoring position.
There's 21 runs scored in total in the second game of yesterday's doubleheader. We're at 20 here, and it's not even halfway through the 4th inning.
Just scorching. And again, that's why I was saying, I think it's just the offense is getting the better of the pitchers today. I don't think there's really much that these pitchers could have done. This offense has just had these pitchers flustered, really.
Texas will have their work cut out to do in the bottom of the 4th.
I mean, this is This is an Aggie team and a Texas team. Texas averaging like 12 runs a game. Texas A&M is averaging about 8-ish, around that. So it's difficult to come into these games against these high-powered offenses and expect to have a really fantastic outing on the mound, a shutout kind of game, a 2 to 3 runs scored kind of game. But on the other hand, you just got to get in the mentality that you can do this, that you just got to find your groove.
As Zane Council hits a ball off the wall in the right field, that's going to score the remaining runners on base. 2 RBI single for Zane Council, and it is a 6-run lead, 14-8 Aggies.
And A&M just completely tacking it on now. They're in their groove. And like, Henry was saying, I mean, you've already had, sizable innings. You saw it already just in the bottom of the 3rd. And now A&M is responding in spectacular fashion, now making it a 14-8 game, but it really is still in a man's ball game. We've seen these pitchers let up runs. Now with Delzell in, it's just, go ahead, sorry.
An 8-run inning for Texas A&M, and they were just piling it on.
I want to correct myself from before. They're averaging about like 16 runs a game, and they're nearing that average right now. Both these teams are. So again, high-powered offenses going at it. It's just hard for these pitchers to really find some positivity, especially today.
And it's not really helpful when the pitchers are kind of getting behind in these counts. It's another 2-0 count here for Driscoll. Dedsell. My apologies, Dedsell.
Again, this is a batter you got to take advantage of. Dickerson already struck out in this inning. It's not been a good day for him. You got to get this third out on.
And that pitch is going to be out of the zone for ball 3. It's a 3-1 count. Batter's count here for Tyler Dickerson. Runner on first is Zane Council, who just batted in 2 runs off that RBI double out in right field.
Right now, you can't worry about that runner at first. You got to get the guy at the plate with 2 outs, and try and finish this count as it goes full.
Tried a full count on a foul tip by Dickerson that may or may not have hit the umpire. It looked like it bounced off the face mask almost. Dangerous job down there.
It's more dangerous the fans who might disagree with him.
And that's going to be a foul tip strikeout, and it's finally out of the inning for the Texas Longhorns. An 8-run inning for the Aggies. It's 14-8.
A&M 14, Longhorns 8.
And welcome back here to Lehman High School Field out in Kyle, Texas. We are here for the bottom of the 4th heavy-hitting club baseball matchup between Texas A&M Aggies and the Texas Longhorns. And what we just saw was an 8-run inning, an offensive explosion by the Texas A&M Aggies to turn a 2-run deficit into a 6-run lead. It's going to be a tough task for Texas to recover, and they're going to start with Caleb Ware on the plate.
Just talking to someone up here in the press box with us who's been helping us with stats, Danny Martinez. I want to thank him. He's been a great help today. And we're talking about a great decision right now would be a bunt on that third baseline, because the way he's pitching, Hallmark's going to end up like 2, 3, 4 feet to his left and just not be able to get to that ball in time.
Yeah, that's a great point. It leaves a bit of the open space in for a possible squeeze play. As that ball is going to be up and in for ball 1. I apologize. That's going to be strike 1. Caught the upper corner of the strike zone right there. It's a 1-on-1 count. And a foul ball up hits the net. Thank goodness for that net, because we have a very expensive unprotected child up on the roof.
That child is a camera, by the way.
That child is
for
a camera,
context.
by the way.
Promise we're okay, folks.
But
We
you
are
know,
not endangering any lives.
with the way this is, it's kind of our child. We're in the protective care of it, as that ball is going to be high
Ball 2.
for ball 2. It's a 2-2 count. This is Caleb Buera, so a little bit of a good at bat. Lots of getting some pitches in there.
Ooh, looks like it just ricocheted off his foot.
And that's going to be a hit by pitch, and it's going to be a leadoff hit by pitch for Caleb Loera, which is going to bring up Henry's and Joe's player of the game, Benjamin Beal.
The GOAT.
I mean, I'm watching some videos of some sidearm guys in the MLB, and I know we're not at that level, obviously, but they're going forward still with their pitches. I don't know how he's getting power where he's sidestepping so far.
Oh, and you just saw a little bit of a consequence of that release point a little bit after he comes off the mound, and that ball goes 6-7 feet off of the base, and that's going to be
A wild pitch, yeah.
a wild pitch, and that's going to allow Caleb Loera to go into second base. So 1 ball, no strikes, no out, runner in scoring position. A good start for the Texas Longhorns offense as they try to take back some runs from the Aggies.
Yeah, and exactly what they need, like you were saying. Like I was also saying, in the top of the side, this game's not over by any means. We've seen both teams score in bunches in these innings. Obviously, the Aggies just did, scoring 8 runs in the top of the 4th. So, any man's ball game here.
I think Beal was a little upset about that last one. That was right down the middle. Could have really struck that one well.
And you know, I'm still with Henry here trying to figure out how he's getting any of that power. And that's going to be another base hit for Benjamin Beal, sending Caleb Loera over to third. Third base coach is going to hold Beal. That's going to be a single for Benjamin Beal. That's another 3 base hits for him in the game.
And Beal wanted the RBIs, pleading with his third base coach, why didn't you send him?
That's a player right there that I think I would walk intentionally. He's 3 for 3 today.
Yeah.
He's got a 3-run home run, a stolen base, another run in the 3rd inning. He's killing it.
You know, I take some physics classes because I'm an engineer, and I'm trying to figure out how he's getting that power. And it just doesn't make sense, as that's going to be another hit by pitch for Corey De La Rosa. And just like that, no outs in the inning, the bases are loaded. Up for Texas, Corey De La Rosa coming up to bat. I'm so sorry, it's Dominic Cordova coming up to bat.
That's why this is such an exciting game, because just like that, Texas has a chance to come back in this, get back within 4 runs. Obviously, that's best case scenario, assuming Cordova goes yard here, but this game is far from over. No outs. They're still young.
Dominic Cordova with a base hit in the 1st inning, and then a ground out in the 3rd. So good movement on that ball, but it started a little bit right of the strike zone and ended right of the strike zone. So a little bit of an issue we're seeing with that sidearm delivery.
It's just the location is coming in on the other side of the plate almost every time, and then when he is getting over the plate, he's coming across his body so hard that he's losing power.
A little bit of a high pop up into second baseman. Harrington's going to make the catch, and space is loaded with 1 out. Kind of not what you want there. If you want a fly ball, you want it to go deeper so you can get at least a run in. So not a great at bat for Dominic Cordova. Alejandro Zamudio is going to go up to the plate. Still bases loaded, 1 out. And a
That was the pitch right there.
hearty swing and a miss by Zamudio on what could have been a great pitch.
That really,
1 now, or 0-1.
that really hung over the plate for a second. Zamudio just a little late in deciding to go for it, but sees another pitch like that and just got to go full swing.
It's a 0-2 count, so a quick pitcher's count here for Hallmark.
Zamudio was a little lucky there, I think. I thought that was in the zone, but a nice call for him from the ump.
100% that's going to be a ball. And a little bit of a foul. I think it may have hit him in the arm a little bit. It's going to be continue to be a 1-2 count.
Cannot have an empty side here for the Longhorns. Got to take advantage of this. Going against the relief man in Hallmark. Down 6. Got to get something going.
Another, a little bit of a late release point, it looks like, and that pitch is going to the right of the strike zone because of that right delivery by the sidearm pitcher Hallmark. And it's an even count, 2-2. And the same deal again. It starts right of the strike zone and ends right of the strike zone.
Okay.
Now, Henry, Joe, how long do you think that this lasts if he can't continue to put those pitches in the strike zone, if we get these kind of situations? Do you think now that they're in their bullpen, they would put in the pitcher in the bullpen earlier, or do you think they're going to try to milk as much out of him as they can?
I want to try to milk him, in my opinion, just because they have so much run support. But I guess it depends on what happens right here with Zamudio.
Well,
Because if he does, cash in, and say Danny Martinez behind him does as well, who knows?
I would really like to see him find his groove here. It's just a bit of a struggle in where he's placing these pitches. And if he keeps going like this, he's just going to keep walking guys or just not have the right aim to finish out this game for the Aggies.
That was a big out, though, to get a shallow right field fly out.
Good job foul tipping that one on a full count for Zamudio. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And it looks like we may have somebody warming up in that bullpen, so that question may have been answered really quick.
Not a good angle from our vantage point, so we can't really see who it is.
It's a good thing Joe brought his binoculars today. Could do a little bullpen watching.
Zamudio with a long at-bat here, really elongating the at-bat, causing Hallmark to throw a lot of pitches, and it's kind of that strategy that's been working for both teams all day, upping that strike pitch count. And ball 4, bases loaded, walking. That's a run for the Texas Longhorns. It is 14-9 with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Bottom of the 4th, excuse me.
Now this is a really exciting at-bat coming up with Danny Martinez. He's gotten on base a couple times today, but what's been impressive is his ability to steal bases, execute big plays around the bases, around the diamond, and come up with runs for his team.
Ramos going over to Hallmark with it after that bases loaded walk. Seems to try to talk about some strategy, see what's going on. Base is still loaded after that walk. Ramos going back over to the batter's box. Bringing up Danny Martinez to at bat with the bases loaded after already 1 run scored. Got 1 out, so can afford to do a little bit more. You have the sac fly opportunity. And another right ball because that sidearm delivery seen by Hallmark. Slow roller going foul over past the first baseline. That's going to be 2 balls, 1 strike. Low ball in the dirt for Caleb Ramos, and all the runners are going to advance. It's a run scored for the Texas Longhorns, 14-10.
Again, Beal just showing his speed, showing his athleticism, and getting home, getting another run for the Longhorns.
That's going to be a run scored off of the pass ball. 2 runs scored, so it's down to a 4-run deficit. And Texas doing what they need to do. Now we've got runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Still Danny Martinez up to bat. And that's going to be a walk, and the bases are loaded again.
And again, we're back to what I was saying a few minutes ago. There hasn't been a lot of pounding of the strike zone for these last two relief pitchers. Any man's ball game, no matter how big of a deficit that the Longhorns would have been in it after the top of the fourth. It's any man's ball game. Now cut it to a 4-run Aggie lead, and that'll be the day for Stephen Hallmark.
Now, Hallmark only got to 34 pitches, but it's so many bases loaded situations, so many just off-target pitches, so many question marks about if he could finish a job that they had to take him off the mound and put someone else in. And that's gonna decide who wins today. Like, again, I know these offenses keep going back and forth. It's a real boxing match, but if they could just find one person on the mound for either team who can really control these batters, it's a whole new ball game.
And after all that, just one inning pitch technically for Hallmark, only 3 outs recorded. His day is done.
New pitcher, a bit of a more normal delivery. I think that might help them a little bit in terms of location of pitches. And that's going to be...
It's like Bryce Harder out
Bryce
there on
Harder,
the mound.
28, going in to pitch for the Texas A&M Aggies. With the bases loaded, only 1 out, so a definite jam that's going to be faced by Bryce here. And strategically, it remains to be seen what they're going to do with the next batter, Brian Mueller. Brian Mueller, a walk, a flyout, and an RBI to his name today. I'm going to give a shout out over here to the music selection here at the stadium. Really playing some oldies but goodies.
Playing the classics.
You know, we do a lot of these games, you know, individually or as a team. And I feel like every press box I go to, whoever's on aux, they're always just killing it. And it's always dad rock, yes. But don't we all love that?
Classics,
I know you're a Billy Joel fan, Henry. I know you are.
Don't we all need a little more Billy Joel in our lives?
classics are classics for a reason, you know?
I might just be an old soul.
Oh, I am too. And no judgment here.
It's a good time for the Texas team to kind of just join together, collect themselves, really talk about how they can go forward, execute these runners on base, score some runs, tie up this ball game perhaps. You know, it's so within grasp, so within reach. Only down by 4 runs with these bases loaded and all these pitching struggles that Texas A&M is having. They really need to capitalize, and not even just capitalize by matching their score. They got to take advantage. They got to get a lead. They got to jump ahead so that if their pitching continues to struggle a little bit, then they have some safety. They have a safety net.
That's
I mean,
exactly right.
just look at this score line right here, Henry. Just all over the place. Going from a tie game after 1, 4-4, and then, you know, the Aggies score 1-1, and then 8 out of nowhere. Then for the Longhorns goes from 4th and a goose egg, and then 4-2, and they still have a chance to tack on more.
As Bryce Harder, his first pitch is going to be in there for a strike. On base currently, we've got Danny Martinez at first, Alejandro Zamudio at second, Corey De La Rosa at third. Bryce Harder, the new pitcher for A&M, and Brian Mueller in the batter's box. A hard-hit foul ball into the net over on the first base side.
It's just interesting how all these runners got on base. Like, let's look back. Guerra, hit by pitch. De La Rosa, hit by pitch. Zamudio, walk, and then Martinez, walk. So it's not even that their bats are really swinging that well. They're just taking advantage of the situation and playing it right.
But what a good quality to have to be able to play those at-bats like a fiddle and figure out how to get on base any way you can.
Mueller nearly striked out there. That just got outside.
That's going to be 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here from Mueller. And a little bit of a half swing, and that ball is going to drop in right field. We're going to have 1 run score. The runner's going to be held up at third, and it is now a 14-11 ball game, 1 out. A little bit of a half-hearted swing, but a blooper right in the right field, and that's going to be another RBI for Brian Mueller.
Going station to station with the Longhorns, and you know that's all you have to do sometimes. We've seen that now with probably 2 or 3 guys now in this entire game just putting bat to ball. Good things happen.
Bases are going to remain loaded. That was Corey De La Rosa coming across the bat to score. Now it's a 3-run deficit only. Ooh. High hit foul ball. Oh. And that made it onto the camera deck. A little bit of a heart attack, but it looked like it sounded like it hit the metal from up here, so I think our camera is okay. We'll collect that ball afterwards and hope that our camera is okay. Looks good on.
Yes, if the view does get a little shaky, just know it's not an earthquake.
Little bit
It
of
is the
slow
camera just
roll,
getting hit by a baseball.
and that's going to end up being a 6-4-3 double play, and that's going to get.
Actually,
I am so sorry.
he didn't get the man at first.
Did not get
Judd
the man at
beat it
first.
out. Yeah.
Did not get the man in first, and consequently, that was another run scored. It is now 14-12. It is 4 runs scored in the inning. It is back to a 2-run deficit for the Texas Longhorns.
That was Judd at the plate. He's had a bit of an up and down day. You know, there's not a lot you can do about that. Look, getting that correct location of where you hit the ball, you know, turning into a double play, that comes with the risk of having a bases loaded situation. So it's nice to see that he's making contact, though, lasting a little longer in these pitch counts and executing in a way.
Alejandro Zamudio scoring on that play. Martinez making it to third. Brian Mueller out on second on that play there. 2 outs now, so only 1 out away for the Aggies to get out of the inning, but 4 runs scored, shortening that deficit to a 2-run as we have a 1-0 count to Johnny Basayan. And a stolen base attempt, Alexander Judd steals second, and then Danny Martinez steals home.
Look at the double steal. Look at that. Great base awareness right there from the Longhorns, making this a 1-run game.
14-13, 27 runs combined, and we are only in the 4th, folks.
And it's heads-up baseball like that that's going to help you chip away at leads like this and help you come back and win this game.
Yeah, what a base run for Danny Martinez to see that they did not have any eyes on home plate and just easily take it. So Johnny Basayan still in the batter's box. 1-1 count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Ball inside. It's going to be 2-1 count.
I give a little credit to Basayan not even flinching a little bit with how close that ball got to him.
Ice in his veins.
Personally, I would have backed up a little bit.
And now a ball on the opposite side. It's going to be a 3-1 count and 2 outs.
Joe, coming back to this. Oh, I'm sorry. Joe, coming back to this line, though, on the scoreboard, it's ridiculous. 4 runs in 1 inning, 4 runs in another inning, 5 runs in this inning.
Oh,
Ball
man!
over the third baseman. Tyler Dickerson could not get up high enough, and that's going to tie the ball game. 14-14.
You
They
got
needed 6 runs to tie it in the bottom of the 4th, and they got 6 runs thanks to a Johnny Basayan blooper. Ball hit over Tyler Dickerson, scoring Alexander Judd from second.
You got
So,
to be kidding me.
in the top of the 4th inning, A&M went through their entire lineup. They scored 8 runs, took a big lead, 6-run lead. So what does Texas do to answer? They go through their entire lineup. So currently they're at 6 runs, and they tie that lead.
And we're now, every batter has hit. Every batter has been on base. No, I'm so sorry. Every batter has made a plate appearance in this inning. Caleb Guerrero, back to the top of the lineup. He's made his 2nd plate appearance of the inning. He's got a 0-1 count so far.
He's still looking for his first hit of the day, but he's been getting on base. He walked in that first inning, hit by pitch earlier in this inning. So he's just finding ways to produce some offense, as is this whole team.
Had to duck a little bit backwards on an inside ball. It's 1-1. Had to go backwards again on another inside ball. And now it's 2-1.
A little scary there. That looked like it was heading straight for his elbow.
Good instincts to get out of the way of that ball. And that ball hits him in the arm. 3 straight inside balls after hit by pitch, sending Johnny Basayan to second and sending Loera over to first.
That was 3 pitches in a row that were just way too inside. And
Second
Harder,
straight
you
hit
could
by
tell
pitch.
he was angry at himself. But he's got to find a way to get that under control, or else this is going to be a problem for him as he nears a bases loaded situation. And this inning continues to be a real positive for the Longhorns.
And that's another hit by pitch, 2 straight for Loera now, with 2 different pitchers. So again, talking about what we were talking about earlier, just I guess when it rains, it pours.
And what resilience. I mean, we're in a Kyle, Texas classic. All knotted up at 14. Out of nowhere after looking down and out.
We're
Storming back.
2 hours on the game so far, and we are not even through the 4th inning. So if you're still on watching, we thank you for staying with us through the long haul.
Second
promise
game
to try
yesterday. Oh, sorry, Tyler.
We promise to try to keep it entertaining and talk you through this classic we're seeing.
Second game yesterday went 12-11. The first game, I believe, was 7-2. So both these teams are so capable of putting up these big scores, these big runs.
Yeah. And up at bat is the player of the game for the Longhorns, Benjamin Beal. Swings and misses on a 1-0. It's a 1-1 count.
Folks, we do invite you to like this stream and subscribe possibly for all our content on Instagram or Twitter as well. Plenty of content surrounding Texas student television. We love to have streams like this supporting club sports across the 40 acres. This is now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
TSTV Gameday, not the only TSTV sports show that you can find on YouTube. There's also the 1-0 Sports Show, College Press Box, and College Crossfire.
Wonderful shows, wonderful analysis, a lot of talented people. We invite you to watch back on our former shows and watch our latest episodes and come back after the summer for some new episodes, as that is going to be the last out of the inning. Benjamin Beal finally gets sat down after 3 straight on bases appearances, and we are going to the top of the 5th, tied up 14-14. We will be right back here on TSTV Game Day. And welcome back to TSTV Gameday here at Lehman Field in Kyle, Texas. Riveting fourth inning, a long fourth inning. 8 runs scored by the Aggies, 6 runs scored by the Texas Longhorns, and it is tied up here at 14. We're only in the 5th inning. And that's going to be Tyler Dickinson up to lead off the 5th inning for the Texas A&M Aggies. Detzel's still in to pitch. I'm so sorry, it's Christian Latondra leading off. For Texas A&M, it's got a 1-0 count on that pitch.
Yeah, we're only in the 5th inning, Tyler, but kind of feels like we're in the 15th.
Yeah, we've been here a while. It's a 2-0 count. It is 1:26 here. This game started around 11, so we're approaching 2.5 hours here. And we're just about to be halfway through this game on 2-0. Counting that ball a little bit up and in. It's a 3-0 count to start the inning.
14 combined runs in that last inning. Incredible.
An offensive explosion for both teams. Hard hit ball down the third base line. That's going to go all the way into the corner left field. Martinez is going to have to jog to get it. Holding the runner, Latondra at first, surprisingly did not go after that. And it's going to be a leadoff base hit. It was foul.
Just dribbled foul.
And that was ruled a foul ball. Just dribbled foul right before it hit the bag. So Latondra will go right back up to bat.
Yeah, you can see Ben
That's
Beal
up
out
here.
there pretty adamant that that was a foul ball. He just right there has that good vision. It was a really close call. It's hard to tell from here. That's all I'm saying. But Ben Beal, like, trying to make his case out there. I think he helped convince the ump. But now I'll head to first anyways.
Fooled me a little bit, so that's on me. But same result after the ball 4. It's going to be a walk for Latondra, so he's back on first. And that's going to bring up Pete Dorasic up for the Texas A&M Aggies on the day. 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a walk. So productive day for Dorasic here as we have 1 runner on base, that runner being Christian Latondra. No outs here at the top of the 5th. That one in there for a strike, and that's 1-1.
Really great delivery right there for Delzell. And just really good pitch selection.
And it's a stolen base attempt, but that ball not going to be in there in time, and Latondra takes second.
You know, we've talked a lot today about how impressive Texas has been stealing the bases, but Texas A&M has been doing a really good job too, at least going from first to second, really taking advantage of these situations where Texas is maybe caught a little bit off guard. So both teams really executing it well, just on all parts of the offensive side today.
Ball just outside. That's going to be 3-1. Yeah, absolutely. What a great time for both offenses. Really getting it done any way that they can. Exploiting every mistake the opposing pitcher makes. And it's going to be another walk allowed by Delzell. Pete Dorasic takes first.
I think Delzell just needs to take a moment. You walk the last 2 batters. Find your strike zone against this next batter. It's Purrington. He's walked twice today already and had a sac fly. You got to attack this guy in the strike zone. Try and get him to swing.
That's going to bring up Ethan Purrington. A double steal attempt. The runner. All right, and they're going to call Latondra safe at third. They're going to call Dorasic safe at second. So a double steal effective for the Texas A&M Aggies, and now 2 runners in scoring position with no outs for Delzell.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I mean, you love to see a kind of teamwork right there in the base paths. Both got great jumps after good leads. Now they're both in scoring position.
You know, something we haven't talked about as much is a pretty good base running by both teams, being able to effectively act as a team on the bases, and gotta help with that offensive explosion we saw. As that pitch is in there for a strike, 1-2.
It's a real bad situation for Texas with no outs. And it's up to Delzell to try and come up with an out any way he can. Hopefully not a fly ball, because that would likely give the Aggies the lead. But again, these pitchers just are getting in these really complicated situations where they start have to worrying about everybody on base, and they have to do that for majority of the innings. So it just makes it very difficult going forward.
That's going to be another ball. It's going to be a full count here for Ethan Purrington. And we saw just the pitch beforehand, the ball way inside. He kind of had to do a death drop there. Not get hit in the chest by that one. And on a 3-2 count, a liner into right field caught by Alexander Judd, keeping the runners at second and third. And that's the first out of the inning.
And that is a crucial line out in right field. After having, both runners aboard in the start of this top of the fifth, he had to get something going. Right here for Delzell.
Now, if you're Delzell, you got to be happy you're facing probably who has had the least effective day on the plate today, Rob Ruff, 2 strikeouts and a walk. And getting out here would be monumental to try to avoid any runs scored this inning. And that would be the first time all game that the Aggies would not have scored a run. 4 runs in the first, 1 in the second and third, and 8 in the fourth. And that ball is hit high in the air, but not particularly deep. And the left fielder, Danny Martinez, is going to lose the cap, make the catch, but the throw home will not be in time. And that's a run scored. It's going to be Christian Latondra coming in to score on a sacrifice fly into left field. Rob Ruff credited with the RBI there.
Of all the things that could have happened, that's one of the better ones. You give up a run, yes, but you quickly get to 2 outs. You quickly put your team in a much better position. You still have a runner at second, and you still got some work to do. But you're fighting. You come out of this inning with only 1 run. The way this game is going, that's a win.
Absolutely. I think that's about what you could have expected. And a little bit of a check on second base, making sure that Pete Jurassic isn't trying anything. Again, a little bit of an unorthodox thing. A little mini step, no throw over, but extending the lead is Jurassic. And a pickoff attempt, but that pickoff goes into the outfield, and Jurassic is going to start running over the third. The throw in, cut off, and that's going to end up being a stolen base on the pickoff attempt gone awry by the pitcher, Delzell. So now a runner at third, 2 outs. You've got Andres Ramos up to the plate, the catcher.
Just kind of unlucky. Delzell spun around too quick, kind of tripped himself up. I think in this situation it would have been a little bit better just kind of focus on the guy at the plate.
And that's a ball hit into center field, caught by Brian Mueller. And that's going to be a very quick inning compared to the rest of them. Only 1 run scored, and we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. A&M with a 1-run lead, 15-14. We will be right back here on TSTV Gameday. back on TSTV Game Day, and sitting next to us we have someone who has been a real help with us today, helping us with some stats and doing the scoreboard and the PA. That's going to be Danny Martinez. How you doing, Danny?
Yeah, my name is Daniel Martinez. I've been a baseball parent here for the University of Texas Longhorn baseball for my second year.
That's fantastic. And tell us about a little bit about what you do on a daily basis for this baseball team.
Well, I'm actually just a parent. We support as much as we can. We get as many parents as we come out here to the ball games. And when we're coming out here to this field, I'm the one that takes the scoreboard and takes the stats for the team. They do have the students, the players go out there and they have a game changer that keep all the stats for the boys. So that's what we do.
That's fantastic. And how did you get into doing the scoreboard here?
I actually just volunteered.
Volunteered. That's wonderful.
And you're the father of Texas's very own number 1, Danny Martinez. Same name, I'm guessing. Senior, junior?
He is the third.
Oh, he's the third. Okay. And what have you been liking from this Texas offense so far?
Well, I like that they're putting the ball in play, right, and they're swinging mostly at strikes, right, and those balls that are outside the strike zone, they're letting them go, and as you can see, we've got a lot of walks today.
Plenty of walks. And then the base stealing has been incredible. You know, you see them speeding around, making really smart decisions. You know, you ever talk to Danny about that? What goes into his thought process when he's on base and trying to make a good steal?
Yeah, actually, we do talk about that. I've coached him ever since he was 4 years old. We played select baseball. We played in San Antonio, Harlan High School. And so every time he's on the base pass, I mean, he's a coach himself out there. So he tries to help the guys out as much as he can. Like I said, most of these guys, they were probably all-stars at their high school teams, right where their respective schools were in their respective cities. So these guys they're out here having a good time, and they know what to do.
And I'm guessing he got his speed from his mom, right?
He did. He got his speed from his mom.
That's absolutely right. And just a little bit of an update. That's going to be Corey De La Rosa striking out. It's going to bring up Dominic Cordova.
Longhorns, number 12, Dominic De La Rosa. Dominic Cordova.
Now, Danny, we only have a couple more questions from you. You know, you're on the PA system. We don't want to hold you too long. So, how many runs do you think is going to get scored in this game in the end? 40, 50?
To be honest with you, probably the first person to 20 is going to win.
I know, it's a very good protection there.
And, you know, I know you're Danny's dad, so no bias. Who do you think is player of the game right now for Texas?
Oh, definitely third baseman Benjamin Beal. He won game 1. He's a pitcher as well, right? He won game 1 in the series opener. And then today he's playing lights out at third base on the field, and, of course, his bat is on fire. So he's doing a really good job out there.
Thank you, Danny, so much. That's Danny Martinez, the second, father of Danny Martinez, the third, the left fielder for the Texas Longhorns, taking the time to join us today. Thank you, and hope you enjoy the rest of the game.
Hey, thank y'all. Thank you guys for coming out here.
We appreciate the interview from Danny Martinez, the second there. Let's go back into the game. Corey De La Rosa striking out to lead off the inning. Dominic Cordova is up to bat. All right, and we have a pinch hitter. Number 3, Devin Roall, is going to replace. Cordova, right? Right. Pinch hitting for Dominic Cordova. We have number 3, Devin Roall. And that ball is going to be outside or not. It's going to be an inside for strike 1.
You know, I know we've had a pretty long game so far. We're only through 5 innings, been here 2.5 hours. Thought there would be more substitutions a little earlier on. We know that's a big theme in club baseball, getting a lot of new players in and out. And, man, what a quick 5th inning after probably the longest 4th inning I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, that was a very quick inning. No runs scored by the Longhorns, only one by the Texas A&M Aggies, and we're seeing the pitchers kind of take control of the mound a little bit more. We will go to the top of the 6th. A&M holding on to that 1-run lead, 15-14. We'll be right back here on TSTV Game Day. And welcome back to TSTV Game Day. Now we're top of the sixth. A very quick fifth inning compared to the rest of the innings of this game. Texas A&M leading 15-14 over the Texas Longhorns. Notably, Texas A&M's third pitcher of the game, Bryce Harder, 3 straight strikeouts to De La Rosa Cordova and the pinch hitter Devin Rawal. And we go into the top of the sixth. Due up for the Texas A&M Aggies, Trey Barte, Colby Dye, and Zane Council. We're going to keep Delzell in on the pitcher's mound. And what are we looking for the Texas Longhorns in this offense to get that one-run lead back after a little bit of a lull from both offenses?
You got to get quick outs. I mean, you saw why they've been scoring, especially in that 8th spot in the top of the 4th. You're struggling just to get that first out. If you get quick outs, like you just saw this past inning, and how they retired the side with all strikeouts, that's what you're going to need right here for the Texas Longhorns. So I do think that's how it's going to be done.
And it's quick outs. It's just these quick at-bats. These at-bats are going really deep into the count. And there's a statistic on that. I don't know the exact numbers, but the longer the at-bat goes on, the advantage goes to the batter. And that's a big reason why these offenses have been exploding. They've been sticking at the plate for so long.
This is the same pitcher, right? A little bit of a warm-up, and Trey Barte is now walking up to the plate. Trey Barte, a walk, a double, and a ground out to his name so far as A&M tries to extend their lead here in the top of the 6th inning.
I don't know if y'all heard about the new strategy of lineups these days, especially in the bottom of the lineup. It's supposed to be, you put your not your best hitter in the 7th spot and one of your better hitters actually in the 9th spot, because the turnover as it heads to the top of the lineup will lead to more runs. So maybe that's what the strategy is today with having Rob Ruff, who's not exactly had the best day today, but when you have a guy like Trey Barte who had that double to start off his day in the top of the 2nd, maybe that's what the Aggie strategy is.
We'll definitely see that become a fruitful decision. I mean, Trey Barte has been really terrorizing Texas around the bases and with his batting. So it's a really good point you make when you say that, and definitely seeing the benefits right now.
As that ball is going to be inside, we're at an 0-2 count to Trey Barte. A good start for Delzell in the at-bat. See if he can finish it out and get the first out of the inning. And he will on a swing and a miss on a fastball high in the zone. We are quickly through one at-bat, a 3-pitch strikeout, and there's one out in top of the 6th.
This game has really flipped around in the 5th inning and now the 6th inning. We're seeing a lot quicker at-bats, a lot quicker outs, like you were trying to say, Joe. And it's becoming a bit of a difference maker now.
Pitchers locking in out of nowhere.
And that'll bring up Colby Dye here.
I also want to say Trey Barte was a little late on that last pitch. If he gets all of that, not a fun situation for Texas.
Yeah, a little bit of a lucky break for Delzell there.
Great swing.
Colby Dye with a 3 out of 4 day, scoring 2 runs himself. It's a 1-1 count. And that pinch hitter, Devin Rawal, that we saw at the bottom of the 5th, has subbed in for the catcher, Alejandro Zamudio. So number 3. I think Rawal. So Zamudio out of this game after being pinch hit for. Zamudio with a hit, a walk, and a walk and a strikeout before being substituted. And Colby Dye hits a ground ball right between the gap of 3rd and short, and that's going to be a single here with 1 out in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, Beal a little just slow off the jump. Couldn't get to that ball in time and make a dive. But again, they do call it the hot corner for a reason. That ball's coming at you fast. Not a lot you can do in that situation. Just a really nice base hit right there.
Nice location right in that gap. It's really hard to get anything when you get close to the middle of that gap, and that's going to bring up Zane Council.
fourth hit of the day, I believe you said, for Colby Dye, right? Because he was 3 for 4 coming into that.
That would be the fourth
Okay.
single of the day, yes.
Wow.
As Zane Council fouls that ball in the net for strike one.
A lot of gaudy numbers for these offenses.
I'd like to make a correction on my end. It was 3 singles and a double to his name. Handwriting on the scorebook gets a little crowded once we get later in the game. As he will take that ball, and it's a 1-1 count.
Just as our scorebook got a little crowded, and the scoreboard out there is getting a little crowded with all these numbers popping up there. It's a lot of things flying at us fast out here today.
An attempt to steal by Colby Dye, and he will be in there safely. So now a runner in scoring position for the Aggies. A 2-1 count with 1 out, and Zane Council up to bat. And just another steal, and the stealing is working perfectly for both teams so far. And you can attribute it to some good base running, but I think we're seeing a little bit of a slow pop and a low-powered throw by both catchers, and I think that's something that they're going to have to look at as they go further into the season.
Nobody's been caught yet, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, that's the big difference between the club and D1 level, but just not a lot of arm strength we're seeing from these catchers. But again, great jumps from the base runners, getting there well in time. It's not like they can't throw a baseball. These also great jumps that they're having at first base.
Part of it, too, is these pitches aren't as fast as it would be at the D1 level. It's not getting to the catcher as fast as it would be to someone on the Texas baseball team, to Rylan Galvan from Dylan Volantis. You know, it's not coming at you at 95, 96, 99 miles per hour. So it is a little harder for the catchers to get off the jump and catch that runner in time when they don't even have the ball yet.
That's absolutely correct. As a walk given to Zane Council, he will move to first, Dye will move to second, and runners on first and second with 1 out. Hard hit ball foul near the Texas dugout. That's 0-1.
The big reason we saw this Aggie offense pick up even more than it did in those last couple innings is because they were sitting on the pitches a little bit longer. They were really aggressive in the first inning and the second inning. They were really early, and they were sending everything left of the foul line, down the third base line. But now they're sitting on them a little longer, and now they're getting these base hits. They're keeping it in play.
Absolutely. We'll see what Tyler Dickerson can do here. Runners on first and second with 1 out in the top of the 6th. It's got a 1-1 count right now. That ball just outside, and it's going to be ball 2.
I like the action on that ball. It really trailed off at the end. I thought he was going to trick Dickerson and get him to chase, but Dickerson holding strong and a good eye by him.
Some good control by Delzell here. Really close to the zone, as that was going to be ball 3. Tried to go for the same location and again just missed it. Now maybe a change in pitch selection here for this one.
Deciding to go with the fastball that time. Again, a good choice, just off target.
Tried it one more time, and that's going to be outside. It's going to be a walk, and the bases are loaded for Delzell here with 1 out in the top of the 6th.
Now, best case scenario for Delzell here is maybe keep it a low pitch, try and force a double play if he can. You know, it's not entirely in his control, but again, best case scenario in this situation, possibly come out of this with no runs given up, maybe only 1 run given up.
Yeah, 100%. You're going to have to try to work that ground ball out of there. Don't give him anything high in the zone. Try to manufacture something where you either score 1 run or get a double play here. Kind of a la Fromber Valdez a little bit. Christian Latondra coming up to bat. A little bit of a warm-up there. And we'll see how Delzell and the Longhorns try to maneuver this jam here. Bases loaded with 1 out here at the top of the 6th.
How many mound meetings have we had today between these two teams?
A good amount. And speaking of these
Good
players,
amount.
A good amount, yes. No pun intended, of course.
Oh,
Good amount.
a little bit. On
A
my end.
little intended, of course. I was gonna say, I mean, props to these players here in club baseball. I love to see support of club sports. Guys who are just playing for the love of the game.
Another ball just outside to the lower right of the zone from our point of view. And it's going to be 1-0 count.
Is there a better way to spend a Sunday than just playing baseball, calling baseball, watching baseball?
I can't think of one. That ball is hit very well into the gap between left and right, and that's going to go off the wall. Off of that, the runner from third is going to score. That's going to be Colby Dye coming to score. Zane Council being held up at third. Everyone moves up a base, and the bases continue to be loaded with 1 out.
The fact that only 1 run scored off of that.
That's one long RBI single. Man.
Latondra picking up the RBI there, and Pete Durasic comes up to bat. Bases still loaded. Now A&M leads 16-14.
Joe, I know we looked at each other and had that exact same thought. Like, that's something the Aggies got to capitalize on, a hit like that, all the way back towards the wall, and only get 1 run out of it.
Well, it looked like the runner on third, Colby Dye, who just came in to score, didn't start running until the ball dropped. Maybe he thought it was going to be a tag situation. So a little bit of a hesitancy, allowing for only 1 run to score. Kind of a lucky break on Texas's end. Ball hit high and shallow into right center field, and the right fielder, Alexander Judd, leaping and making the catch, holding all runners on base, and we have 2 outs. A little bit of a misread on the ball. It's a little bright out here. Ball.
If you're Brian Muller, you can't rely on Judd, though, to be coming in all the way from right field to make that catch. You got to come in yourself.
That's a tough play. That's a tough play for Muller to make. I don't know. Tough play for both of them to make, honestly.
Great job by Judd not to let the ball blend in with the color of the sky here and get that. And that ball is going to be outside for ball 2 to Ethan Purrington. Ethan Purrington with an RBI sac fly, 2 walks, and a flyout to his name today.
I'm actually going to backtrack what I said before. That is a hard play.
Oh, man.
Oh, that ball just barely making it fair. It's right down the third baseline. That's going to score 2 runs, and it's going to be Aggies 18. Longhorns 14, a 2 RBI single down the third baseline for Ethan Purrington.
He's trying to put Texas away for good. Getting back to that score. That impressive lead that they had back in the top of the 4th.
After that 2 RBI double, it's going to have runners on second and third, so 2 in scoring position with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Rob Ruff up to bat. That ball's going to be inside for strike 1.
And 3 runs scored now with 2 outs. This just makes me think how much of an outlier that 5th inning was.
Random 8 spot.
Aggies doing really well to keep the inning alive here during multiple innings. A lot of 2-out runs scored by both teams. And
Again, this shouldn't be too much of a surprise for anybody who's viewing this game. The 2 most potent offenses in the conference. Did not expect an 18-14 game, though.
No, we did not.
I don't think any of us did.
and that is going to be a strikeout, and they're going to get out of the inning. Rob Ruff sits down. That's his 3rd strikeout today. Gets the hat trick, and it's a 4-run lead for the Aggies, 18-14, heading into the bottom of the 6th. We will be right back here for the bottom of the 6th on TSTV Game. And welcome back into TSTV Game Day. We are here at the bottom of the sixth that won a high scoring game. 32 combined runs here. 18-14 Aggies lead here in the bottom of the sixth. We're going to see another inning here for Bryce Harder from the pitcher's mound for Texas A&M. Leading off the inning will be Danny Martinez, who has a walk and 2 singles to his name so far. And last inning, the Texas Longhorn offense was sat down with 3 straight strikeouts and what was a complete reversal of the offensive firepower we saw in the other innings. What do you guys think that they have to do to avoid that again and keep the runs going down forward?
I don't really know at this point. Because these offenses just keep finding a way to get hit after hit, to get on base, to steal the base, to get home, and it's incredible. And this is the most offensively high-powered baseball game I think I've ever seen in my life.
It's nuts.
If you're new to club baseball.
Joe, you played
It's
in high
fun.
school. You ever see anything like this?
Never. My team wasn't scoring 10-plus runs, honestly, to be real with you, but, you know.
That sounds like
But
a you problem, Joe.
this is something.
We know you were putting up like 30 home runs a year, though.
Oh, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
They called me Barry Bonds in my high school.
Because of the steroids or because of the hitting?
Steroids. No, of course.
Little offline throw, and that's going to be a base hit for Danny Martinez. And that'll bring up the top of the order. Brian Mueller coming up to bat.
I mean, at this point, it's more of a surprise when we just don't get runs. You know, it's expected now to get 4 or 5 or 6 in an inning.
Right. Only 2 goose eggs, really, in that score line. The Aggies have scored every single inning. The only 2 goose eggs of the game have been from the Texas offense, the second and the 5th.
They're still within 4 runs.
And still, they have a chance, absolutely.
This is absolutely still within reach, and that's going to be a ball to make it a 1-0 count here for Brian Mueller.
And this is how every productive inning has started for Texas, by the way. Their leadoff batter gets on base. And then we have some wild pitches, perhaps a walk.
And there's
Another
a
stolen base. Perhaps a walk, perhaps a base hit. He gets on base, though. It just keeps going and keeps going, and it's a ripple effect.
It's like clockwork. Get on base, stolen. It's going to be a stolen base courtesy to Danny Martinez here.
At this point, a stolen base is also just kind of a given for both these teams. With how they're timing it well, with how they're thinking about it, with how they're executing. It's how you become creative with it, like when Texas did the double steal to get a run. That will help you perhaps come out with the win at the end of all this.
There's a 2-1 count to Brian Mueller. Ball hit right up the middle off of Harder's glove. And Danny Martinez will score. Brian Mueller safe at second with an RBI double.
Brian Mueller is one of the bravest base runners I think I've ever seen because he likes to take some risks, and they pay off big time. That's the second time he decided to go for the base when it could have been a really, really close call, a really easy tag for the other team, and he still finds a way to execute and come out with a positive outcome. So, really, again, just impressive.
Yeah, for sure, I agree, because he has pretty, sneaky speed as well. You saw in the beginning of the game, it's on the bottom of the first, as he might get a chance to flex that speed. Gets waved around to make this an 18-16 game. He'll score jogging in.
And a little offline throw from the right fielder, Council, and that means that Alexander Judd's going to move into second base, and all of a sudden 2 runs scored. It's a 2-run deficit, 18-16.
You could tell Council was not happy with that throw. Not only did he allow that run to come in, but he allowed Judd to get an extra base at second. So, just a bad throw, becoming a good result for Texas.
And it's those kinds of mistakes that we keep seeing that each team is just really good at being able to exploit. That ball's outside. It's going to be a 1-0 count to the new batter, Johnny Basayon.
The only thing we really haven't seen the Texas offense do is hold on to the lead for a significant amount of time. I mean, they took it in the 3rd inning when they went 8-6, but that's really been it.
Playing from behind for a lot of the game, but keeping it close, keeping the pressure on. We're now up to 34 combined runs.
The score's getting so high, I don't even think I could count that.
That ball hit high into mid-center field. That's going to be Trey Barte making the catch. Alexander Judd tagging up.
Trey Barte overthrew that.
Wow.
Impressive to be able to overthrow that, and that's going to bring Alexander Judd over to third. That's the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up.
I think on the Aggie side, my favorite player to watch has been Trey Barte. How about you guys?
Great base running on him for
Definitely
sure.
Great fielder, plays with heart, swings his soul out of the plate.
And Cannon.
Yeah, has a cannon too.
All right. One runner on scoring position with one out for Caleb Loera. Caleb Loera with.
That ball took flight like it was Vlad Guerrero on the outfield. It looked so high in the air. If you remember that signature throw out from the outfield, even though he played right field, but you get the point.
I think with the right line, that kind of gives me shades of Ramon Laureano.
Don't ask Joe about baseball history, or else he'll talk for hours.
I mean, we have time apparently today.
You know, we have plenty of time.
It's a 1-1 count to Caleb Loera, who currently today has a walk, a flyout, and 2 straight hit by pitches on his line today. Most of third right there, as that ball's inside, it's going to be 2-1.
They actually say Trey Barte is a young Bo Jackson.
Young Bo Jackson. I'm surprised we have not made the Barte joke or something. He reminds me of the Starling Marte. You ever heard of that? And the Pirates is that slapped up the middle to make this a 1-run game.
Just a well-hit ball right up the gap. Not entirely a lot of velocity on it, but just really well placed. Kind of hit the bag a little bit, and just we're seeing a little bit of a change. Some methodical hitting from Texas, and it's back to a 1-run deficit.
When they get in the groove and each batter can really catch a spark, it spreads to the rest of their team. So that's why they're getting hit after hit after hit when they are getting hits. And when they're getting goose eggs, they're doing nothing.
Shortstop moving back for the player of the game so far, Benjamin Beal, who comes up to bat with a runner on first and 1 out and only 1-run deficit. Benjamin Beal with the only home run on both sides so far, with a 3-run home run in the first inning.
That surprises me.
It's got a 0-1 count. Little slow roller. And a little base running mistake actually kind of works out for them. Caleb Loera overruns the bag, almost gets tagged out, gets there safely. A little bit of an errant throw by the shortstop Colby Dye, which allows Benjamin Beal to be safe on first base. And now there's runners on first and second with 1 out for Corey De La Rosa. So a little bit of a weird base running error that kind of turned into a blessing for the Texas Longhorns. And that is a hit by pitch, and now the bases are loaded with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Corey De La Rosa reaching on a hit by pitch, and Dominic Cordova coming up to bat in a pivotal moment with every base occupied and 1 out.
I don't want to say we can predict the future, but what we said earlier on when the bottom of this inning started, starting to play out.
Amen. Amen. It's a ball game. I really don't know who can win this game at this point. It's just gone so back and forth. Anybody takes the lead, the other responds. The next at bat they have a chance to. Now you're looking at an 18-17 ball game. You think this is the combined score of a doubleheader? And this is yet just the score through 3 hours.
It's about the duration of a doubleheader.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of a mound visit to try to get Harder's head right, and Dominic Cordova is going to come back onto the plate with a big opportunity here in the bottom of the 6th.
I think the obvious advantage, I didn't mean to cut you off, Joe, I'm sorry, but I think the obvious advantage is just Texas being the home team and having last licks.
It could just be who has, the bet last, really, and that sometimes is the downside in baseball, but that's how it goes. Home team gets last at bat, and based on how this game has gone, they definitely have the advantage, like you're saying.
We're only through 6 innings.
Yeah, it's crazy how long this game is. It's a 1-1 count to Dominic Cordova.
The classic in Kyle. The Kyle classic.
Slow roller off of the pitcher's glove, and they're going to call it out at first base for Dominic Cordova, but a run scores, and it is now tied 18-18 here in the bottom of the 6th.
2 outs. Texas tied the game. Can they take the lead?
2 outs. I don't know.
Runners on 2nd and 3rd, so both scoring position bases are occupied with 2 outs. And there's Devin Rawal is up to bat after pinch hitting.
Yeah, 4-3.
Devin Rawal. 0-2 count, so a good start to the at-bat for Harder, trying to get out of the inning without allowing any more runs by Texas. A foul ball up to the net and a little bit of a heart attack for us here in the booth. Can Devin Rawal give the Longhorns the lead here in the bottom of the 6th? Well, it might not have to be Devin Rawal, as a wild pitch allows for Benjamin Beal to come home, and Texas has a 19-18 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. The 37th run scored by both teams here.
I believe that's the 3rd run scored by Beal. And a man that big should not be able to run that fast.
That is actually the 4th time that Beal has crossed home plate today, after the home run, 2 singles, and another single.
These stats at the end of this game are going to be just otherworldly.
And just a blessing for that wild pitch to kick back off of the fence there to keep the runner De La Rosa from scoring. Devin Rawal still up now. It's a 2-2 count. Good job by good job by Rawal to keep the at-bat alive. And a swing and a miss, a strikeout for Devin Rawal, and that will get Texas A&M out of the inning. It is a 19-18 lead here after the bottom of the 6th. We go into the top of the 7th inning. 37 combined runs. Texas Longhorns hold the lead after the bottom of the 6th. We'll be right back here on TSTV Gameday.
And welcome back to Lehman High School, where a baseball game is happening, and one like we've never seen before. It's 19-18, and no, you did not hear me incorrectly. It's 19-18 Texas over Texas A&M here for some club baseball, and it has just been an exciting offensive display today. I'm Henry Hipschman. I'm taking over for Tyler Strempel, who did a wonderful job on play-by-play. As he said earlier in the broadcast, we like to switch the jobs around here for TSTV Gameday, give everyone a little chance. Joe Duffey will be back in a moment. He'll join us on color as Andres Ramos steps up to the plate to take his stab at another at-bat. Now, he's already had 4 today, ground out and a pop out in his first 2. Then he had a double RBI single and then a fly out in his last at-bat. He's looking to go back to that magic he had in the 4th inning, well, the magic his whole team had in the 4th inning. That whole lineup almost got a hit, or the whole order almost got a hit in the 4th. And Tyler, it's just astounding what we're watching right now.
It is crazy. I think we were on the break, and you said it best. This would be a great score for the first quarter of a basketball game, or an entire football game, and we're seeing it in 6 innings of a baseball game. It's nothing that I've ever seen before.
I've seen football games not even get close to this score. As a swing and a miss on Ramos going to bring him to a 2-2 count.
I mean, if you've ever seen a Big Ten game, it's like 6-2. This is like a SEC matchup.
Now, Ramos trying to get the action started for his team as he fouls it straight back. Still on the mound is number 0, Kincaid Delzell, who's had an up and down day. It's been a bit of a struggle. He's had a couple strikeouts and had a difficult last inning where he walked 2 batters, gave up an RBI single, then gave up a 2 RBI double before finally ending the inning on 2 strikeouts. And swing and a miss on Ramos going to send him down, and Delzell starting off right with a strikeout. That'll bring up Trey Barte, who has had quite the day, and yes, I did rhyme that on purpose. So
Trey Barte having quite the day. I see what you're doing. That's touche.
Thank you. But Trey Barte in his last at-bat, a strikeout. He walked before that, ground out before that, and then his best hit of the day, a double into left field. Trey Barte, we were talking about him last inning, had an incredible throw out there from center field to third, overthrew the third baseman.
Overthrew the third baseman. What power. Ooh.
And Barte rockets one foul deep left.
Almost, it looks like it hit a car on the road that goes right behind here.
Got plenty of lift just a little bit early, something we saw from a lot of the players on the Aggie side early on in the game. They were just a bit too aggressive, swinging at pitches too quickly.
Yeah, and I think Trey Barte really seeing power on both sides. He just has a really strong arm and kind of translates to a really strong swing. We saw that there, that foul ball that almost hit that car in the windshield. And if you are still here from the beginning, where we've been on a Mazda watch, making sure that a ball does not go into the outfield and break the windshield of Joe's Mazda protege. So far, we are safe. And Joe.
And Barte, high fly ball out to center left, and it's reeled in for an easy out. That was caught by the right fielder, Alexander Judd. Alexander Judd has had a quiet but really good day out there in right field.
He really has. I mean, all these outfielders have been clearly active with how these offenses have been rolling, but specifically him in particular. This feels like he's always on the move, always active. That's a great first step, by the way. So watching that, it's clear why. Here he goes again.
Immediately, Colby Dye swinging at it, and he heard us talking about him. Alexander Judd to end the inning with his 2nd consecutive catch. That's 3 outs. That'll send Texas back to their dugout, the Aggies back to theirs, as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Stick with us here on TSTV Gameday. Welcome back here to our broadcast of Texas versus Texas A&M Club Baseball here on TSTV Gameday. We are rejoined by our color commentator, Joe Duffey. And Joe, you said you heard some fans talking about the game. What were they saying?
Oh, it wasn't even the fans. It was the players saying they're just marveling at, how they really never experienced a game like this in their lives. Got to hear Alexander Judd in right field on my way to the bathroom over there. He was, saying, have you ever been a part of this? You think he was talking to, I believe it was, I believe he was talking to his center field compatriot and Ryan Muller. But yeah, I don't think anybody has seen something like this. This is wild. Usually when you see a high score reaching, 15 plus, it's in a blowout. But both teams having their offenses roll throughout this entire duration of the game. And let's see if one can really close it out or shut the door, depending on who gets the lead or sustains the lead in Texas's favor, I guess.
Yeah, and due up, we're expecting a pinch hitter, Blake Schamberg, who's coming in for Danny Martinez. Danny Martinez had quite a day himself, had a single, a bunch of stolen bases, 2 singles actually, and a walk in the 4th inning. But today we'll see Schamberg get his first at bat. Texas trying to bring maybe a little new blood, maybe a little new life into this game. Try and find something to, I don't know what more you can do on offense here, Joe.
You mentioned probably an hour, maybe hour 15 ago, you thought they were going to have more subs. You thought you were going to have more subs at this stage already in the game, but you can't really sub in guys that are already, balling on offense basically. So at this point, you're seeing these subs finally come into the game in the bottom of the 7th.
And we're not only getting a new batter, we're getting a new pitcher as well, number 23, Matt Jasek, who's coming in for Bryce Harder. Bryce Harder, not a bad day on the mound, but kind of everybody's having a bad day on the mound with how good these offenses are playing.
Pretty much. Again, back to that question, who's having, the type of day? It's like the first take question. Did someone win or did somebody else lose? And I got to go with the offense is rolling and favoring over the...
And a base hit down the right field line for Schamberg. He's going to keep running past first on the second, but looks like the ump is calling him back, saying it was a foul ball, and now Texas arguing that the first baseman for Texas A&M actually touched the ball, Christian Letendre. And now it looks like Schamberg has to shimmy his way on back to the batter's box, and this is not a decision the Texas fans are happy about. Our own Danny Martinez, who has been helping us out with stats, is certainly not happy about it up here in the booth. But a really, really unfortunate decision for Schamberg from the umpires, and now they're actually talking to the Texas coach right now.
Wow, that is not a good call. It looked like it really hit him in fair territory, but yeah, they're going to bring Schamberg back.
And you can't imagine that the first baseman Letendre for A&M even attempted to do that. It's just kind of one of those unlucky breaks, and he's got to feel bad about that. And now it's just up to the batter to try to get that out of his mind and just worry about the pitch that's coming to him.
The real unfortunate thing was that ball location was perfect, tucked right in the corner, right where you want it. Double potential, triple potential with how this base running has been going today, and I don't think that throw is going to be made from all the way in deep right field to third base.
Yeah, that's just not the call you want to see, but 1 ball, 2 strikes, or 2 balls, 2 strikes now.
And Schamberg answers with another base hit, and now he'll take first, and he'll stay there.
Ball don't lie, Henry.
The ball don't lie indeed, Joe. That is a great answer from Schamberg after an unfortunate decision from the umpires, but a single for him will send up Brian Muller to the plate. Muller, we've commended him for his good hitting, but it's been his base running that's impressed me the most out here.
Yeah, for sure, especially in that bottom of the first where he got on board and then stole 2 bags in the span of probably 3 or 4 minutes. Let's see what he can do right here at the top of the lineup.
It's when he decides to steal, and a pitch bit inside going to be called for ball 1. But it's when he decides to steal, it's when the ball isn't too far off, and a throw could easily be made, and a tag could easily be made, but yet he's making the run anyways.
Yeah, very risky. But, it pays off in a way,
Yes, it does, as the pitch from Jasek is going to send it to a 2-0 count. We're also talking about plate patience from Texas. They've really gotten deep into some counts this game. Here's the pitch. Looked like it was a little bit low, and that will send it to 3-0 for the count.
It's a battle who wants to hang on here now.
No outs with Blake Schamberg at first. Steal attempt for second. Oh, and he's tagged out the first time this game a Texas player has been tagged out in a steal attempt.
Yeah, caught stealing first time today. We've seen a lot of steals from second, but also to third. What a throw right there. Very close, bang-bang kind of call made by the field umpire. But that's a big first out to get the base pass empty for the Aggies.
And what a throw just from the catcher to be able to make that on a line. I mean, here's a guy where you've got someone going who's stolen already today, going to second base and just able to get that throw is just really impressive.
Swing and a miss will bring this to a full count. But going back to that stolen base, it's kind of the first time we saw a Texas player not really leave the base at the right time. He left just a little bit too late, and that gave him the window. It gave the Aggies the window to go for the tag out. And a swing and a miss is going to send it to strike number 3 and out number 2 with Alexander Judd now heading to the batter's box.
I totally forgot to mention, too, at the top of the 7th, that was the first scoreless inning for the Aggies. If you noticed, they scored 4, 1, 1, 8, 1, 3, and then in the 7th, a goose egg. Could that be the difference maker, Henry? I don't know.
It does show Texas is capable of shutting out their opponent here today, but can they keep doing it? Can they keep it consistent? Pitch well off the mark, goes ball. Falls in and out of the mitt, number 27, Andres Ramos. Now Judd having himself a okay day. He's been getting better at the plate. He started off with 2 strikeouts, but then a single, fielder's choice, that also resulted in RBI. Oh, and a hard hit deep in the center left field at the wall. Judd rounds first. He's sprinting for second. Is he going to get there in time? He does. And a double for Judd, who has caught fire.
And I was going to say, too, I was about to commend Andres Ramos for being in this game still, by the way, because, you know, it's kind of insane that in the length of a game that he's still been catching. I don't know if they have a backup to relieve him, but what a hit right there by Alexander Judd. Again, we talked about a slow start to start off this game, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. But since then, been great defensively, but then finally gets on the board with a bomb to deep left center. Just a little bit.
And immediately a chopped hit straight to the pitcher. He'll sprint over to first and take it himself. That'll be the 3rd out. And no runs scored here for Texas, despite a couple of big hits from Blake Schamberg and Alexander Judd. Well, that's going to send us to the top of the 8th inning. The first time this game, neither team has scored an inning. Some exciting action to continue when we come back. Some looniness here continuing here at Lehman High School, where it's a 19-18 lead for Texas over Texas A&M in this club baseball game on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. We started this game Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, and now it's dipping deep in late Sunday because Well, I think this is the longest baseball game I've ever been to, Joe.
Yeah, when you have offenses that are cooking like this, I mean, it's going to extend the game for sure and make it a long kind of game for your pitchers. They're just trying to hang in there. It feels like we even say the name to Orlando DeLeo in ages, but he was the starter for Texas today. Gave up 8 runs. Eventually got yanked out of the game. And then also Matt Janik for the Aggies started this game for A&M. Haven't said that name in a minute, but he also started and had to get yanked as well. So rough game for the starters. Rough game for the relief men as well.
Yeah, Joe, that's a really good point. We haven't heard about them in a very long time. It's been a very long time since we've mentioned their name, since they've even been on the bump. And that kind of brings up the question of wear and tear for everybody as a hard hit goes left of the foul line down the third baseline. At the plate, it's Zane Council, number 5 for the Aggies. Wear and tear on the whole team, not just the pitchers. We were talking about how their arms might be affected, but everybody else has got to be tired too. Behind the plate, the catchers, their knees have got to be killing them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were talking about that with Andres Ramos just a few minutes ago, and you saw the sub for the Longhorns already, but you got to feel bad for some guys who are behind the plate in games like this. Especially you used to have those summer tournaments growing up, especially in the hot Texas sun. Those games used to be crazy when you had the 2 or 3 game kind of days. For your catchers, it would be a rough one. But for a game like this, I mean, a sustained game with a lot of scoring, oh yeah. It's got to be a tough one for sure.
Counts full on Council. Hard cut. And he'll miss and strike out. And he'll send up Tyler Dickerson in his place.
Dell's been locking in these past few, play.
Now batting, number 11.
So it's actually not going to be Tyler Dickerson at the plate. It's going to be Tyler Thompson. Jake Thompson, my mistake. Jake Thompson, number 11. Very, very tall batter for this team. One of the taller players we've seen out here today. And an outside pitch going to be called a ball. This strike zone, not the most generous throughout the game. So it's been difficult for both Delzell, DeLeo, J-Sig Harder, and a base hit out to center field. It's going to send Thompson to first.
While we're on the topic, we've talked about the players being tired, the catchers being tired. What about these officials tonight?
I know that padding is not cool in this Texas heat.
Man, he's hanging in there. Field umpire looks like he's chilling, but I really wonder how the home plate umpire's doing.
Now, Tyler, I know you just started calling games. Did you expect this to be your first play-by-play experience?
No, I expected it to go a lot quicker. Honestly, this has been the most insane game I've ever seen, and even on the ones I've seen on TV. But it was fun to watch, and a lot of things happen. You get a lot of practice doing these kinds of things, and to have stolen bases and attempted pickoffs and double steals and stealing home. It's nice to have that practice, and I appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to come and call this game and be a part of this. And I appreciate Lehman High School for their field. It's a beautiful facility, really, and the press box is just wonderful. So it's been a great time. I'm really thankful for it.
Yeah, not every school can have a press box, and this is a really nice facility, honestly. I agree with Tyler completely. Everyone can't have, these nice facilities, and so it's a really nice setting here for this afternoon's game.
I mean, some of my highlights, we have air conditioning back on this wall here.
Yeah,
So
air conditioning.
And a hit straight to shortstop. Throw to third. Tag by Beal for the second out. He gets the lead runner. Sorry to cut you off, Tyler. Christian Latendre hitting straight to short. He'll take first on the fielder's choice. Going back to what you guys were saying, it really is amazing. Oh, and it looks like we have an injury over there at third with that lead runner.
I don't know.
That is...
It looked like when he kind of hit, credit to him. Oh, it looks like it was a nosebleed. Credit to him, for trying to get in that bag and diving, but it looks like he hit his face on the bag, and we're seeing a little bit of a nose issue.
Yeah, it looks like he was just going a little bit too head over heels. And and he's going to go back to the dugout. He's walking A-OK on his own, and looks like just has a nosebleed.
What a play right there from Caleb Luera. I mean, heads up right there to get the lead runner. And the tag looked like it just got him right in the face at third base from Ben Beal. Great heads up play right there from both gentlemen.
Another great defensive play by Beal over there in the hot corner. Pete Durasic heading to the plate.
We're dangerously close to having 3 straight half innings with 0 runs scored.
It's getting a little concerning, right?
Now, guys, I made that mistake earlier in the broadcast with the announcer's jinx. Don't you guys be bringing it back.
Well, we have a table right here. It's made of some kind of wood byproduct, so I will knock on it just to not jinx anything on the field. But
That was actually a sound effect, guys. Steal attempt for second. Throw from the catcher is well off the mark, but
What?
saved the ball from leaking into the outfield. What a play over there from the shortstop, Caleb Luera.
yeah, what an effort right there to make sure that ball didn't get into the outfield, going behind the second baseman and picking that up. That is a crucial save to allow for the runner on second to be held up even.
Crazy dive backing up the second baseman, Corey De La Rosa. As the pitch going to be called a ball. It's a 2-1 count. 2 outs. Texas looking to come out of this inning with no bloodshed for their team. Tyler's asking me if I did that on purpose because the Aggies did have some bloodshed on their team when Jake Thompson was tagged in the face. We hope he's okay.
3 balls, 1 strike.
3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Foul ball back straight towards the backstop. It will keep this at-bat alive.
Yeah, Delzell is locked in. I mean, I love to see it from the relief man because it's been a big struggle for these Texas pitchers as well as the Aggie pitchers today. But he's just 1 strike away from getting a consecutive goose egg.
And here's the pitch. Popped straight in the air and back for a foul ball and nearly coming into contact with some fans. Luckily, actually, they had an umbrella over their heads. Might have helped them out.
There was a slight gap in between these 2 groups, and the ball happened to land right in the middle of them. Very blessed group right there.
You know, on the topic of umbrellas, I really got to credit the people. The umbrella game, we're seeing a lot of different colors.
And just a bit outside is going to give Durasic the walk and send him to first. There's now a runner on first and second. Coming up to the plate's Ethan Purrington. Now, speaking of getting on base, Purrington has been able to do that very well in 3 of his last 4 at-bats. He had the 2 RBI double in his last appearance. He had 2 walks in the third, and he had a walk in the 3rd and 4th inning. And then he had a sac fly to start the day. It's been a very productive day for number 16 as he swings at the first pitch, fouls it out of the stadium. Oh, 1 count. Purrington, the second baseman for the Aggies, having his 6th at-bat of the day here in the top of the 8th inning.
That 1 pitch looked a lot similar to that ball 4 pitch previous plate appearance.
Hard cut for strike 3, out 3, and that'll end the 8th inning in another great outing for Delzell with no runs scored for the Aggies here in the 8th. That'll send us to the bottom of the inning, and we'll be right back here on TSTV Game Day. And we're back here for the most unique baseball game of all time, where the Texas leads 19-18, and Caleb Luera is at the plate for the Longhorns looking for his second hit of the day. He didn't even have a hit, though, until the 6th inning. He had an RBI single. Earlier on, he's been hit by pitch twice today, and I know we were talking about that. And what kind of mentality does that put the pitcher in, hitting the batter twice?
Well, I have to think it makes you, question your mental when you're getting a little, flimsy with the way you're throwing the ball, having to leave your hands. You start getting the yips. Not a fun feeling if you're a pitcher. You start overthinking like that right there. So, not a fun feeling at all once you start hitting batters. Most of the time, it's not intentional.
Luera nearly hit there, had to duck on the breaking ball that was just well too far outside the strike zone. As the count goes to 1-2. Swings, fly ball to right field, caught, and the first out. Luera will head back as Ben Beal steps to the plate.
We were talking during the break, us three, about what the change in the game happened right around after the 6th inning. And we're seeing a lot better pitching, and we're seeing just a very quick, not very offensive couple innings, and it's a big turnaround from what we saw in the beginning of the game. And it's kind of nice to see a little bit of a good pitching appearances happening.
And we were talking about this, how this could be the difference maker. Whatever team really finds the right stuff on the mound first could be the ones that win this game, and now they seem to have found it at the same time. What kind of game is this where we have all this turnaround, all this offense, and then just a couple of big old zeros on the scoreboard out of nowhere? Ben Beal's count goes to 2-0. 1-1, my mistake.
These are the kind of games you don't forget. You remember these for a lifetime with your buddies out here playing on a Sunday afternoon, putting up 15 plus runs each. Someone's got to hit 20, right? I mean, somebody. You don't do all that work and not hit 20, right?
We had the pleasure of having Danny Martinez II, the father of the left fielder Danny Martinez for Texas, on our broadcast earlier. He predicted that whatever team hits 20 is going to win this game. Prediction's looking pretty good right now, Joe.
It'd be crazy if Beal hit a home run here.
And did Beal break his wrist? He did not. So it's a 2-2 count.
I might just predict the Beal homer right here. I'm feeling good right here.
Here's the pitch. Fouls it back, and Joe is almost out of his seat with the contact on that.
No matter what kind of window or net you have back here, it's always scary when a ball comes flying at you.
God, Beal has 3 hits today, struck out once, pops it straight in the air, drifting towards second, and he will not have a home run, unfortunately, in this at-bat for him.
It's actually insane I'm being wowed by, generic pop-outs.
I mean, in this game, it's surprising. Jackson Carlton coming to the plate. His first plate appearance today. He's pinch hitting for Corey De La Rosa, the second baseman. Swings on that first pitch, misses 0-1. Now, it's an interesting choice to bring in all these pinch hitters so late in the game. You think that's giving Texas a little life with how long this is going? And he makes contact, pops that straight in the air. Joe will give you a chance to answer that in just a second. That's caught at second, and that'll be the 3rd out, and that'll end the 8th inning as we are dumbfounded by what's going on today.
They're giving you nothing to call, Henry. I mean, after me and Tyler had some fireworks, I think you've only called. Have you called a run?
No, I don't think I have just yet.
You've called a basic baseball game.
It's about 19 runs. You and Tyler have most of them, which it's been a pleasure listening to you guys anyways. Now we're going to head to the top of the 9th, where we will bring you more high-action baseball here at Lehman High School Stadium. Stick with us. Well, after 37 total runs in this game, 19 for Texas, 18 for Texas A&M, we have reached the top of the 9th inning. And, well, Delzell has been on a bit of a heater on these last couple of appearances on the mound, and he has a chance to end this thing once and for all with these next 3 batters.
Yeah, Delzell a chance to shut the door here and win the series for the Texas Longhorns against the #1 team in the conference, the A&M Aggies, coming in at 9-2 after splitting the doubleheader just yesterday after a rain out on Friday.
And it's Rob Roth at the plate. He took a hard cut, was a bit too inside. Looked like he decided to take a swing at that a bit late.
And, you
Pivotal
know,
inning for Delzell here. I mean, to be able to end this game after 37 runs and be the one standing. I mean, to win by only 1 run would be amazing after scoring this many runs, but to be able to close it out would be.
High fly ball out to left field from Ruff. It airs foul. Could have been caught. Was just out of reach of the left fielder. Blake Schamberg looks like is out there now.
Judd moved out to left field.
And that's
from right
actually
field. Alexander Judd, yeah.
And that is actually Alexander Judd out there. It looks like they switched him around. No longer in right, sent him to left. That'll keep Roth at the plate, keep his at-bat alive. He goes to 1-2 in the count. Roth, a left fielder himself. Late swing. Just caught the ball. Foul tipped it. Record his 5th out in the last 3 innings.
Defensively, Dylan Kim.
And he does, as they'll throw the ball around the bases. And Delzell has really found his stuff there on the bump today.
I was going to say Dylan Kim is now checked in defensively at right field for the Longhorns as Judd moved over from right to left. 2 outs away are the Longhorns from winning this Kyle Classic.
Andres Ramos at the plate. That was actually Delzell's 6th strikeout in the last 3 innings. And, again, a couple scoreless innings before this. If he could end this game right here, he could be the hero today. Of course, he'd have to face another batter. Here's the pitch. Find the zone that time. 1-1 count. Now, Ramos has had a bit of an up and down day. Started out with a ground out and a pop out, but then he had a 2 RBI single as he sends this one sky high. Beal's trying to find his way underneath, and in and out of the mitt of Beal. Gives up the easy out. Would have been the 2nd out of the inning. Would have put them 1 out away from winning this very unique baseball game. But no, Ramos stays alive. That's similar to what he saw in the 3rd inning when he popped out to first base on the other side. He struck out in his last at-bat. He flied out in the 5th inning, but he had a 2 RBI single in the 4th. That's his only hit on the day. He's looking for his 2nd.
I mean, just a hard play, a difficult play out there for Benjamin Beal. The sun's a little bit more out. I think the cloud cover's going away. To have to look up in the sky with that white ball, it's a little.
And the wind is throwing them off in that left field side. You saw him mess with Alexander Judd just about 5 minutes ago.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Out number 2. That's 2 consecutive strikeouts for Delzell. And now up to the plate is Trey Barte, trying to get the partay started for the Aggies.
Fitting, really, to be the last out remaining for the Aggies because he has had a really stellar day defensively and also offensively.
We'll see if Delzell can get outnumber Trey.
Just a bit outside, 1-0 count.
One last gasp for A&M. 1 out away are the Longhorns.
Here's the pitch. Swings on it. Pops towards first base. Chance to end the game. Sliding underneath was Delzell trying to make a miraculous catch. He was not in the right spot. That ball will fall foul.
You don't see a lot of sliding pitchers, I'll tell you that. That was a great effort.
A little dangerous for Delzell. Could have risked the arm there or something, but really wants to end this game, I guess, with the 19-18 win. Barte trying to spoil the party 1-1 count. Delzell hit straight to short. The throw to first is in time, and Texas will take the 19-18 victory in 9 innings over Texas A&M and will take the series 2-1. It was a exciting game. It was a unique game. It was a game we will most likely never see repeated on a baseball field. What an incredible outing today for the Texas Longhorns, taking the win. Wow.
Yeah, take a bow, all of these players really, but especially Texas for winning this ball game. Just all around crazy, wacky baseball from both teams, but especially for the Longhorns, who just found a way to respond after every single time the Aggies took the lead, especially after that top of the 4th inning where they put 8 runs on the board, the Aggies did, and responded with 6, Texas did, right after that. It's games like that, it's moments like that that made Texas win this ball game, and they can take their heads held high after this game.
Yeah, I mean, what a wonderful game to watch. So many fun things, stolen bases, stolen home. You see some mistakes, but it's that part of baseball that you love watching is just the little intricacies that could happen no matter where you are in the field. And especially right now, you're going to get with the classic, handshake thing and just the camaraderie from both teams and end up, I mean, what a wonderful game. And just, I've enjoyed so much watching this game play out and all the wacky little things that happened during it. And I've enjoyed calling it with you two. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and it's been a really fun one.
It's been an honor to be in the booth with both of you, and what a wonderful game it was indeed. The players are tired, the fans are tired, everyone's tired, but Texas can go home knowing that they beat the conference-leading Texas A&M Aggies in the series 2-1. TSTV Gameday wants to thank Texas Longhorns and Texas A&M Aggies for having us out here today. It was an honor to be with you guys at home who tuned in. Thank you again. I've been Henry Hipschman, along with Tyler Strempel, Joe Duffey. Special thanks to Danny Martinez, and again, both baseball teams. And hope you join us next time on TSTV Game Day. Have a great afternoon, everybody.